Welcome to the MODUS Super Series for the first Group B session of 2023, the first of two evening sessions tonight and tomorrow. We had Group C this afternoon get underway, the likes of Peter Manley and Andy Jenkins fighting to join Richie House and the Group A winner at finals night. Here's Henry Deacon with what happened this morning.
Steve Petton picked up a solitary victory on his first day of action at the Super Series in Portsmouth. He got the better of Peter Manley in a last leg decider. As for Manley, victory became like London buses without one on his first 3 days of action. He picked up 2 here today and is in the picture to qualify for finals night. Rocky has shown glimpses of his brilliant best and is still up for the fight going into Friday. He is a part of the chasing pack for Saturday night's finals. Alan Norris came out the traps fine, winning each of his first 3 games, but defeating his final 2 means work to do on Friday. Meanwhile, for Michael Huntley, he is the man currently occupying second spot, and it's thanks to brilliance just like that 1:15 checkout. But it was the DJ who played all the right notes. Darren Johnson, the man at the top of the table, winning 4 of his 5 matches.
Well, Matthew Edgar joins me to help guide you through this evening's action, and you were on commentary duty this afternoon. Henry said there, Peter Manley in contention still. Mathematically, he is, but do you think that he will be feeling like he's trying to get through to Saturday night?
No, he didn't come here to try and get through to Saturday night, did he? He came here to see where he is and what he can do. And to check this out, this was a bit of a scouting mission for Peter Manley. He said himself he's watched this quite a bit, but wanted to come down and see what it was like and experience that. And he's experiencing it. Yes, he's got a couple of wins today, but he's still not been to the level that we'd expect for someone who's going to get through to Saturday night. Yeah,
a player I do want to talk about quickly is Alan Norris, because it was looking like it would be him, top of the pile. Things broke down massively, and a worry for Alan Norris, particularly with ambitions of qualifying school, etc. next week.
I think that's the expression I used in commentary when I was on this afternoon, breaking down. It was like a guy breaking down. You could see him stretching and trying to flex and move all the time. I spoke to him afterwards and he said he had a problem with his shoulder that just sort of came on. I think this is a long-standing issue for Alan Norris, and I think a day like this does not suit him. I expect tomorrow morning he'll come back and he'll do what he did yesterday, or this morning, where he came in and he played well early on. But I think as the day goes on, we may see him weaken again tomorrow.
Still a chance, Darren Johnson in pole position in that group. That resumes tomorrow morning, 9:30 a.m. But tonight we're going to get Group B going, and we're going to take a look at the players in the field. So Richie House, the winner of Group A, he is already through. In Group B, we've got Trina Gulliver, Robert Thornton, Adam Mould, the ADC qualifier, Martyn Turner and Ian Moss. I thought we were going to see them, but I'll just tell you instead. Who catches your eye, or catches your ear in this case, from those players?
I think Robert Thornton is the big eye catcher if we're talking about who's going to win this group. Robert Thornton, obviously, with what he's done this year, winning the Seniors World Championship and the match play, is the standout performer on that. I think Ian Moss has been completely underrated in this. In 2014, Ian Moss won a tour card and got himself into the PDC World Championships at Alexandra Palace. He got that through the PDPA qualifier, so not only did he go through Q School, but he also went through that pool of the players that are sort of the lower end of the tour, the players that aren't already in the World Championship in a one-day qualifier. So he's certainly got the quality in order to compete here, and I've seen some of his stats that he's producing in the seniors at the moment is around about the 85. Martyn Turner caught the eye, but for me, real eye catcher from the opening part from Group A was Adam Mould.
Yeah, we did see them there in the end. Adam Mould, you've seen him all week. What is it about him that's impressed you?
Because I didn't expect it. I really didn't expect it. When I look at his stats and his numbers, I thought this guy's going to come here, he's going to throw a 60 average, and he's going to throw a 90 average, and he's going on a 70. I expected him to be all over the place. He's been everything but. He's been consistent. And I say it literally all the time. Consistency is the key to this. He managed to get 18 points from that group. And when you look at the players in there, Andy Jenkins, who's won a Challenge Tour title recently, Darren Johnson, who's now top of Group C, and obviously Richie House and Martyn Turner in there. That's a good return to get 9 from your 15 matches.
Yeah, maybe he'll have the Mould momentum. We'll find out. Martyn Turner alongside him is in action in the first match of this session. He finished second in Group A, and the man nicknamed the Mutt's Nuts, I'll never tire of being able to say that on the telly. He produced some good stuff this week, Martyn Turner, some good finishing, etc. in his Group A matches. I think we're going to have a look at one of those finishers now. Martyn Turner actually doing it against Darren Johnson, who's top of Group C. He was, for a time, looking like he could catch Richie House, and didn't materialise in the end, but certainly the best of the rest.
Yeah, and when we listened to his interview that he had when he first came here, he said that he's struggled with confidence. I can vouch for this. I played him for the first time in 2011 at the UK Open, and I thought, oh, I'll keep an eye on this guy because he's going to do quite well. And then it never really materialised for him. And then when you listen to him, it was all about a lack of confidence. It just wasn't really working for him. He came here, he said he's played in this format before, but he didn't have the confidence. He looks now like someone who's starting to believe, and I don't know whether that's just because he's put the miles in this year on the WDF Tour, and he's got that quite high ranking on their world ranking system, that maybe it just gives him a little bit of belief when you can look at a ranking table like the WDF ranking, which is a worldwide tour, and you can look at that and see himself quite high up in that rankings. Maybe that just gives him that little bit to allow him to believe in himself to just be free. And
what better way to get some belief than try and beat the World Seniors champion Robert Thornton? For him, it's kind of could go one of two ways, couldn't it? It could encourage his opponents ahead of that Seniors World Championship title defence, or it could almost get this big unbeatable force field around him. So an interesting couple of days ahead for the Thorn.
Well, not only that, but this will also give him a chance to prepare and get some matches in there. When we look at what is coming up before that Seniors World Championship, there's now not a lot of tournaments. There's one tournament coming up on the Seniors Tour at the end of January, but Robert probably won't be in that because he's already in the World Championship. So when is he going to get the opportunity to play darts competitively? Well, here. And one thing that's not really worked out for him is Saturday. I heard him earlier on talking about Saturday already. He expects to be there, and as do we.
Right, enough from him. Let's hear from the man himself. Robert Thornton caught up with Henry Deacon ahead of this evening's action.
Robert, welcome back to the Super Series. Second go in this stint. How are you feeling about this time round?
Yeah, I mean, I've not really been practising lately, and I put my dartboard up in the hotel room the other day, and it's been going all right, to be honest with you. The little break away from darts has given me a little bit of ease. How
do you reflect on 2022? Big titles, obviously, in the World Seniors, and a couple of ones here too. Yeah,
I mean, I get to the Saturday night, I seem to miss out, don't I? And it's just one of them. It's weird. I think I work hard enough all week to get there, and then when I get on the Saturday night, I'm knackered.
Of course, your second chance here as well. Does that add something for you, or do you just take it as it comes?
Take it as it comes. Do you know what I mean? It's 2 days, so I've got as many games as everybody else has, and I've just got to make mine count.
Well, we look forward to watching you play. Robert, good luck.
Cheers, buddy.
Robert Thornton gearing up to defend that World Seniors Championship title next month, and doing so by trying to beat some of his potential rivals in the field this week. The first of 10 matches tonight features that all-time great that is Robert Thornton. He takes on Martyn Turner, who produced some good stuff in Group A. Guiding you through all the games, our top commentary duo of Matthew Edgar and Henry Deacon.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. Too kind. Good evening to you. Good evening to everyone. Well, the theme of this week has been the World Seniors, and what better way of getting Group B underway than the man who holds the World Seniors Championship crown. Robert Thornton is looking forward to defending that title at the Circus Tavern at the beginning of next month. The next few days' competition here will gear him up for that. But don't think he's not coming here for the £5,000 top prize. This Scot is having his second stint in this particular phase. He was involved in week 3, narrowly missing out at Saturday night, finals night. So a second go for him. For Martyn Turner, it's his second go this week. He took part in Group A, picked up 22 points, and was really unlucky not to make it through to finals night directly. Richie Howson putting in a superb performance to make sure he was the first person through to finals night on Saturday. When you look at the stats for the two players, Matthew Edgar alongside myself in the commentary box, this could be the highest quality encounter we see this evening.
I think we're probably going to say that in every game that involves Robert Thornton, because he is really the standout player of this group, or the standout player of this week. Before the week started, bookies were very heavy on the fact that Robert Thornton could win this week. And we've seen some challengers emerge throughout the pack, but I was listening to that interview with Robert Thornton, and I think the break will probably have done him the world of good. If we look back at the back end of last year, he actually withdrew from the last day of Challenge Tour events. Now, to me, that's because either little niggling injuries that kick in over time or fatigue. He's just had that bit of a rest, knowing that the Seniors World Championship is coming up, and it's like now he's trying to build and get ready for the challenges that are ahead.
As for Martyn Turner, there's a lot of other weeks in this phase where he probably would have gone through, not just because of the points total, but because of the way he played in those, especially Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, he did build, he did grow into the event, which kind of what we expect when he comes in. And he says about the fact that he lacked that confidence in that interview. He's certainly not lacking it here.
140. Robert your car, 124.
Really good start from Martyn Turner and putting the pressure on Robert Thornton from the set.
The bullseye for 124 to start.
93.
And you may have needed that just to hold throw, because Turner's on here for a potential 14 dart leg. 15 will do if he can find tops, and that's a nice
36.
little marker for Martyn.
Robert your car, 31.
So 2-8 to Thornton to take the opener with the darts.
23. Martyn your car, 40.
Mentioned earlier, players that like to call their name out. Robert Thornton is one of them. You'll hear him shout Robert many times when things don't go well.
20.
If Martyn was other than them, you'd hear a Martyn right now, because he's just missed 3 darts to get the breaker throw.
Both players missing multiple darts at double. It's edging closer. It's not quite in, though. Robert thought it was. But there's no doubt about that one.
Thornton.
And Thornton eventually takes the lead in this match. The scoring phase of that particular leg was absolutely exemplary. The doubles, a little bit of the opposite, but it's Thornton who leads 1-0. And we said that this could be the highest quality game of the evening. Just having a look at the seasonal stats for the pair. Robert Thornton over the last 12 months, average of 88.08, 98 on the front 9, and a 35% checkout ratio. Meanwhile, for Martyn Turner, 83
45.
average all told. In the front 9, 91.41, 31.6 in the checkout percentages.
60.
5 points as a gap as a rule. There is some gap, but if Martyn can take his opportunities, it's not a major one.
It's not a gap that bridges across another set of darts, and that's the relevant thing. When people look at averages, it's about understanding the blocks of 3 in which those averages fall into. Because it's patterns of 3, because obviously that's how many darts you get to throw at one time. And that doesn't cross over a barrier of 3, which means either player could win. It's only when you break that barrier, such as going over a 93, do you then go into another area where you're going to use a visit less than your opponent.
60. Robert your car, 136.
136 for a breaker throw. He's got 6 from here. He's going to need the 6.
78.
He's himself on 58 after 12. Nothing Turner can do in response apart from apply pressure.
100. Robert your car,
Ton needs him on a finish. But it's Thornton with the golden opportunity for the break. Inside the space of 14. 15 will do.
18. Martyn your car,
but it doesn't go, and so
154.
Turner has a outside shot at 154. But he has a chance. Not now, he doesn't. And so Thornton's back for 2-0.
Robert your car, 40.
Loves this part of the board. He's not loving any part of the outer ring at the moment. He's making a bit of a mess of it. 10 darts to convert is 1.
35.
Make that
Martyn
11
your car,
darts.
61.
Convert is 1. Martyn Turner offered another opportunity here. Double 16.
29. Robert your car, 5.
Madhouse.
No score.
Mad
Martyn your car,
Robert.
32.
He's going to be seething. Especially if Martyn Turner convert this double
He's on the
16.
second leg. Martyn Turner.
Duly obliges. 13 darts. Robert Thornton has thrown at the double to get his one leg on the board. He's going to need to up that. And I expect as the day goes on, he will do.
Third leg, Robert to throw first.
Going back to what we're saying about averages again. When I'm talking about those blocks of 3. If someone threw an 83 average, and they was playing someone who was throwing a 92, 93, you say they play with a 93, 92 is more likely to win. However,
26.
that still is 6 visits to the board. Regardless of how the averages look, that one's averaging 10 points better, it's still the same amount of visits.
57.
So an 83.5 average is your 18 dart leg, and your 16 dart leg is 93. But you both need that extra 6 visits. So you're not getting any more control on the game, which I think when we look at stats and we're looking at the future of darts, maybe a bit of functionality within the averages and the doubling percentages would be more relevant. But that is a stat here. When we're talking about relevance, Robert Thornton has some relevance in the 180 column. That is his third 180 of this match. Martyn Turner with 1.
84.
4 maximums already.
But it's been this part of the leg that's caused Robert Thornton problems. The good news for him is he's got all the time he needs. Teeing up tops after 12. Turner back in the 300s.
82. Robert O'Carr, 40.
Can't say he hasn't had his doubles practice in this match.
Getting shot on the third
That was the
leg.
15th dart he's had at double. It's the second that he's converted. But importantly for him, it's enough to open up a 2-1 lead against Martyn Turner. The scoring fades, which we'll show you about in a second, has been really good for Robert. He's hit more maxes than he has, well, as many maxes as he hit ton 40 and tons combined in this game.
123.
He's been getting himself down to finishes after 9 and 12 on a regular basis in this match. Here's the scoring power pack. It's 3-2-2 in Thornton's favour, compared to 2-1-1 for Turner.
100.
Averages 81 and 75 respectively. Thornton back in the lipstick again.
123.
The first dart goes in for Robert Thornton. Same as Martyn Turner. When Martyn Turner gets it on the bottom wire, you expect him just to be able to put on top. And the same for Thornton.
45.
When the first one kicks in and stands up, you just expect him to fill that one. We've seen him do it so many times over the years. We'll be hoping to do that next month and defend
45.
the Seniors World Championship. I'm a 2-time Senior World Darts Champion. And have his work cut out. There's some real canny runners and riders in
44.
that one.
There'll be a certain Mr. P. Taylor that'll be wanting to win it for the first time. I have no doubt about that.
63.
Obviously, Kevin Painter, Chris Mason will be putting his name in the hat. Mark Dudbridge, who won a Group A down here before, not too long ago.
Mason and Dudbridge are the two that really do intrigue me because they've played some really good stuff.
137.
We saw in that Legends Week how well they played. Can Thornton net the fish and say, I'm still the daddy of Seniors Darts?
44. Martyn Turner, 52.
Well, that's a misfire, so it's only going to give himself one dart at double 16. It's all he needed. And in and around that 15 to 18 dart range is kind of where we see a lot of Martyn Turner's legs won. Over the last 12 months, half of his legs that have been run in competition play have been in that 6-visit region. Robert Thornton's been finding that treble 20 region with some familiarity tonight.
91.
And we're going to see a little bit more about the actions of the players from overhead, the way the darts enter into the board. As you see, Roberts kick up and stand up to 81. Attention. When that treble 20 goes in at the top of the bed, it's such a nice life in, whereas Turner's just kind of sit down, 95. A bit more of a stacker dart. And that's the first dart that he doesn't like, when it just drops low.
Yeah, so he have to move across to sort of curl around that dart. The old David Beckham darts there from Robert Thornton. And vice versa. These aren't the darts that Martyn Turner likes, which is why he's moved downstairs.
140.
You saw there from that angle how he can just sit them on top, which is why it's that first start to sit low in the bed.
120.
Thornton was worried there about that dart carrying into the treble. Played it safe, played it super safe. And leaving himself on 2 10s, but he's got plenty of time.
81.
Because he's down to a double
Robert
after just 12 darts in this leg.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
Better
Robert Thornton.
from Robert Thornton. The doubles have been a problem for him. It's not been too much of a problem that he's not winning the match, but it's been a bit of a problem that it's been more drama than he'd have wanted in this opening game, because he could have been off and sat in the back room now letting everyone know that he's currently top of the table, which I'm sure Peter Manley was doing after his first game this afternoon when he won in match number 1.
Oh, you could hear. And you can see some fabulous darts on Thornton. That's his 4th max of the match.
60.
And he's not relenting. Not one bit. Not one bit!
Robert Thornton has done 9-darters before. He did it in the most unlikely event to do a 9-darter, the World Grand Prix
60.
at Dublin, which is a double start, double finish. This one is far easier. But he's just going to have to make do with winning the match, I suppose, because the 9-darter is off. 5 180s in
81.
this match for Robert Thornton. He was just saying, now we haven't seen many 180s this week. Insert Robert Thornton here.
He didn't get the 9 because his opponent didn't miss double 12 for the 9. Thornton 60 for an 11-darter to win the game in style.
Game shot on the
And
match.
the Fawn has set his stall for the rest of the field to follow. A 4-2 success for Robert Thornton, an average of 89, which can somewhat be caveated because of a 4 from 18 rate on the doubles. 5 maximums in that match. It was an impressive start from the World Seniors champion, who shows exactly why he holds that specific title. So Thornton off to the perfect start. And talking about world champions, we have a player who has won 10 of them in our next match. It's Trina Gulliver in action. She takes on the ADC qualifier, who's been one of the standouts this week in Adam Mould.
Welcome back. Well, what a start that was from Robert Thornton, the World Seniors Champion, kicking off his Group B campaign with an excellent victory, 4-2 over Martyn Turner in the opening match of the night's play. An average just shy of 90 for the Thorn, but he hit 5 180s, including 2 in the very last leg of the match. He was on for the 9-darter after 6 there, Robert Thornton. Maybe we will get one as he bids to build up some form ahead of his defence of that World Seniors title. He was the king at the Seniors, but coming up next it is one of the queens of the world of darts, Trina Gulliver, 10-time world champion. Long-awaited debut here at the Super Series. She's taking on Mould, the ADC qualifier. Now, Adam, well, he finished 3rd in Group A and produced some good stuff during the week, Monday to Wednesday. Qualified, as I mentioned, through the amateur darts circuit and seems to have got better as each day has gone on. Mould has already played a legend in Peter Manley, and we can see him taking out a Shanghai shot to whitewash the man nicknamed One Dart. So he's going to play a couple more legends tonight. Thornton later on, and of course starting with Gulliver herself. She, as I said, is making a debut here and will be playing in the World Seniors Championship along with Thornton, so trying to get some form herself. But she's still very competitive on the main tour as well, having won a Women's Series title in 2022. So without further ado, let's hear from her now, talking to Henry.
Trina, welcome to the Super Series. Debut for yourself here. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, I am. I'm really looking forward to it. Yes, looks very good on the streaming light, you know, and everything. So it's nice to be here. It's a nice setup.
It's been a while since you play, obviously, since the seniors events in 2022. How's the game at the minute?
Okay, all right. I've surprised myself a little bit. So, you know, I'm playing better than I thought I would be. So hopefully that will show tonight.
Of course, the objective for everyone here is to win, but of course for yourself, ahead of the World Seniors at the Circus Tavern next month, is a chance for you to get crucial match practice. Yeah,
exactly. And, you know, hopefully I will play okay tonight, and, you know, I will try my best to get through to Saturday, and we'll see how it goes. But, yes, it's vital to get some match practice in, and, you know, I'll certainly be doing that.
Have you set any expectations, or are you going to take every game as it comes?
Every game as it comes. Always do that. You know, it's always the best way. Otherwise, I think you put yourself up to be knocked down, kind of thing. You know, so one step at a time.
We look forward to watching you play. Trina, good luck.
Thank you.
Well, as humble as ever there, Trina Gulliver, so it's up to me to give her the big build-up. She's won 166 professional titles in total, including those 10 World Championship wins, and has even been honoured with the MBE. And it is our honour to have her here at the Super Series. So to guide you through her debut against Mould, it's back to Matt and Henry.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. When you talk about darting legends, there's not many that are bigger than Trina Gulliver. 10 times champion of the world. One of the pioneers of women's darts. There was a time in the mid-2000s where she won 7 world championships in a row. That was the run that she was on. And actually, when you look at her record in the world championships, she played in every single final from the Inception tournament in 2001 up until 2012, when she was beaten in the semi-finals by Anastasia Dobromislova. She went on to win the tournament that year. She takes on Mould, the 34-year-old from Aylesbury, who has been a bit of a revelation and standout star here at the Super Series this week. He is an ADC qualifier and is representing them very proud indeed. But it is Gulliver who has the darts, and it's a very, very warm welcome to her at the Super Series.
81.
Reeled off a lot of titles she's won. Chris Murphy told you at the very start how many she's won, but I think the key thing to remember is that she's still adding to those titles. She won one of the PDC Women's Series events this year, beating Laura Turner in the final of that one. 5 legs to 1. So it's not like she's a player of the past. She's also a player of the present.
41.
Thanks to Murph for winning off all those titles. There goes the tungsten teaser.
And the nature of her game is a little bit more steady,
40.
shall we say, than some of the other players. And I just wonder if that's going to upset someone who doesn't have experience like Adam Mould, who might not be able to get into his rhythm as such here against Trina.
60. $58.
Adam Mould was someone who really stood out for me in Group A. He really produced, really played well, answered all the questions when there was asked of him.
97.
Trina's going to ask plenty of questions of Adam Mould here. He just needs to settle in and find that range like he did
43.
Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
With Trina Gulliver, and we've spoken so much over recent times what the likes of Fallon Sherrick, Lisa Ashton and Bo Greaves has done for the expansion of the
76.
women's game. Do you think that Trina's role in the sport and the women's game propelling itself to the heights it is has kind of been understated somewhat?
60. Trina Gulliver, 146.
I mean, she was obviously of a different era though, wasn't she? Like, put her in the modern era and things would have been very, very different.
110.
Fantastic setup there from Trina. Mouldy has just not got going yet.
119. Trina Gulliver, 36.
First leg in the Super Series. Could be a winning one. She can hit double 9.
18.
Mouldy, who's not really been
88.
in this leg. At 119 has given him the opportunity to steal the throw. He's not at it in this opener.
48. Trina Gulliver, 18.
And so this double 9. Double 2.
14.
And now it's
Adam
got
Gulliver,
messy.
40.
And now Mould gets his chance.
Game shot on the
He only
first
needed
leg.
one
Adam
chance.
Mould.
And for Trina Gulliver, she will know that that was an opportunity that
Second leg, Adam to throw
passed
first.
it by.
Game on.
Yeah, there's a sign of nerves in there, wasn't it? Which is a low darts, and we're seeing that with Adam Mould as well. There were signs of nerves in here.
74.
And there were signs that we're just starting to see that range that I spoke about at the start of the week. But I should know better. Every time
95.
I've questioned him, he's started to produce.
And going into this group, is there a difference compared to Group A, where now there's an expectation on him because of the way he played over the
100.
first 3 days?
I think he will probably feel there's an expectation, or an expectation that he would like to live up to that and even move on and get better.
100.
Where he doesn't need to get better, he just needs to do more of the same.
$97.
He is starting to find the trebles. He's had a treble in each visit in this leg.
45. $35.
And he did this quite a lot on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday as well, didn't he? He was picking a lot of darts up off the floor. And that one just looked like it just didn't penetrate the board, as if it just hit a dead spot somewhere.
81.
Yet to see the
59.
snarl and the aggression from Adam Mould.
$26. Adam Gulliver, 136.
So 1-3-6 here for a 2-0 lead for Adam.
$60.
Well, this would be some way to announce your arrival on the
154.
Super Series stage if Gulliver can take out this 1-5-4. Won't be done now.
26. Adam Gulliver, 76. 56. Trina Gulliver 128.
Expecting Trina to move over to the 18s. Again, just comes low. And Mouldy will now start the process of preparation
44.
in order to
Adam Gulliver 20.
come and mop this one up and double his lead. Confirm that break of throw.
Game shot on the second
And
leg. Adam
he's
Mould.
really struggling in the coming down stages, but when he gets to the double, 2 from 3, when it's coming to this scoring phase, he's
Third leg,
having
Trina
quite a
to
few
throw
troublous
first.
visits,
Game
and he's
on.
finding hard work. He's only had 2 scores over a ton so far in the 2 legs, which isn't what we saw from him on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
45.
Playing the role of the janitor at the minute, just sweeping up the pieces.
1 out of
Now
them,
we're going to get the
40.
opportunity here to have a look at the angle of entry of the players' darts from our overhead cam. As you see, Trina's darts kick up to attention. Now, the issue she's kind of had in the first
16.
couple of legs is that first dart has entered the single one quite low, which has meant that she's had to move across the oche and readjust. Again, Moulds is a very pronounced kick up, but because of the size of the
100.
barrels, you see the way that last dart entered the board there. If it enters low, it means the target area he has reduces quite significantly.
83.
He just seems to have a bit more zip in him at the moment, does he now? We're still yet to see the snarl and the aggression from him. That might just be because we're in game 1 and we've not
91.
got into the meat of all this yet. But he will be wanting to kick this off with 2 points. There are 3 qualifying places available from this group.
1 out of them, 40.
Is
Adam Gulliver 170.
mightily important to kick off with a victory.
Doesn't have to go for it. As I said, he didn't have to go for it.
66.
Well, when you start with a treble 20 and you come off the board with 66, you are disappointed. Trina starting to apply a bit of pressure
85.
here. 83,
Adam Gulliver
140,
104.
85. Leaves her on 88. Expect her to get a poke at a double if it is the bullseye, at least for Trina.
56. Trina Gulliver 88.
For her first leg in the MODUS Super Series. Good first dart. She nearly hit this earlier on, going for the
60.
9s.
Adam Gulliver
Both
48.
them wide of the mark. Sort of feel this could be a bit of a game killer here.
Game shot on the third leg.
And that is
Adam
a second
Mould.
break of throw for Adam Mould. Trina Gulliver's had the chances. She's had 8 darts at a double. She could have held the throw in both. She was first to the double in the opening leg. She was
Ball
first to
play
the
Adam
double in
to
that
throw
one, but
first. Game on.
Mouldy, 60% on the doubles. Isn't racing down there, but he's getting there.
67.
Plodding along. Like it's a gentle stroll down the Portsmouth seaside coast.
100.
The problem with that is you can get caught out. Have you seen the
58.
delights of the Portsmouth seaside yet, Matt?
I have. I've seen it many times. Do like going down there. Sure, that's where Richie Howson's been
41.
today. Probably trying to get his fishing rod out and see if he can get involved. Maybe rent a fishing boat.
30.
But this is not the Adam Mould that we've seen for the last couple of days. And I said that that 48 in the last leg could have been a bit of a game killer. Well, it might just be opening the door to let Trina back in
100.
this one. I did say might.
180.
Keyword might. That was a mighty visit from Adam Mould, right on cue. Just when Trina was starting to feel she was getting back into this one,
45.
he finds his first maximum of Group B. No finish from 166, but he can set it up. This is a turnaround. I just said, didn't I? When I questioned him, he
134.
produces. I question again, and that is 6 perfect darts there from Mouldy to leave himself his preferred section of the board, that double 16, for a 4-0 success in his opening match of Group B.
100. Adam your car, 32.
Well, he's put the hammer down at the perfect time. Had to see off an early storm. And he still hasn't got the job done.
24.
Gulliver's going to have to take her a ton topper,
Adam your car,
though,
115.
if she is to keep her chances of winning her opening game here alive. Down we go, treble 19 for the requisite double. Doesn't go, and so Mould will get
59.
his opportunity
Adam
once
York,
again
8.
on double 4.
Getting edgy.
Game,
And he
shot,
finally gets
Adam
over the
Mould.
line. It was a 6th match start there from Adam Mould. He didn't really find the form we've seen of him. We know he's going to grow and get better as it goes. And there's our first chance there to catch the 10-time Women's World Champion. We look forward to seeing her a bit later on. But coming up next, it's our chance to cast our eyes over Ian Moss as he takes on Robert Thornton.
Welcome back. Well, before the break then, the Mouldy man beat the Golden Girl as Adam Mould got a 4-0 whitewash win against Trina Gulliver, whose debut at the MODUS Super Series did not go quite to plan. Some early nerves in there, seemingly from Gulliver, who did get herself 8 darts at double in the game, but couldn't get a leg in the ledger, and Adam Mould took full advantage for an excellent start to his Group B campaign. Speaking of excellent starts, Robert Thornton produced 5 180s in a fantastic win against Martyn Turner in the opening match of the night. A 4-2 success in the end for the Scotsman, who was just prolific on that treble 20. Brilliant stuff from the Thorn, the reigning World Seniors champion, who's looking to hang on to that crown next month. He takes on Ian Moss in his second match of the night. Moss has played on the PDC Tour before. He actually played at the World Championship in 2014 as well, and is looking to be a bit of a dark horse here at the Super Series. Maybe not the biggest name in the field, but certainly a very capable player. Let's see how he's feeling ahead of tonight's action.
Ian, welcome to the Super Series debut for yourself. Looking forward to it?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, got the bug coming back again for the darts. This is something that I've always wanted to have a little go with. So it was nice to be invited, and now we can see where we're going with it now. So yeah, look really good.
What's your first impressions of the stage and the setup?
Oh, fantastic setup. Stage is spacious, lovely throw. Practice room's good. So yeah, very, very good. Brilliant setup.
It's been a while since we've seen you play. How's the form guide at the minute?
It's going well up until Christmas. Been down with a bad cold, what like everybody's been picking up. So I haven't played a lot for the last couple of 3 weeks, but the form was pretty good going into Christmas, so hopefully it'll still be there.
And just finally, any expectations, or is it every game as it comes?
Every game as it comes. I mean, there's a lot of good players here tonight. Obviously, nice to see my old mate Robert. I haven't seen Robert for a long, long time. Obviously, I've got to play him. So, you know, we'll see where we're going with that game, you know. But, yeah, looking forward to it all.
We look forward to watching you as well. Ian,
brilliant. Thank you ever so much. Thank you.
Well, the match that he singled out is the first one he's going to play tonight. Robert Thornton already in the swing of things with those 5 180s in his opening victory. So on debut, can Ian Moss boss the king of seniors darts? Let's find out in the company of Matthew Edgar and Henry Deacon.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. And what a tough opening assignment as it is for Ian Moss on debut at the Super Series, taking on the World Seniors champion, who has set out a statement to the field, an 89 average, but don't be fooled by that. That was because he 4 from 18 doubles ratio. Finished his game against Turner with a 12 and 13 dart leg, but up against him, Ian Moss from Whitney, not too far from here. Played in the PDC World Championships in 2014, having a bit of a renaissance year in 2022, just like this man, Robert Thornton, a man who's won many, many majors over his career and is still picking him up now on the World Seniors circuit. The defending Seniors World Champion. He'll be looking to defend that title at the Circus Tavern in a couple of weeks' time. But Ian Moss, he's admitted himself he's suffering a little bit, or he was, with a bit of a bug over the Christmas break. But he's fit, he's raring to go. What are we going to see from him, do you think, Matt?
I'm expecting to see more from him than I think the bookies are giving him a lot of credit for. Before Christmas and when he was playing in those senior events, we've got a read on him running at an 85 average or a front 9 of 94. That is going to be mightily competitive. If we look at his most recent game, he did lose that to Mark Walsh 5-3, but he averaged 101 in that match.
60.
And when you look through his form guide, it's normally sort of mid-80s, occasionally goes into the 90s. That is going to be enough to apply pressure and certainly enough to win games. I make him a bit of a runner to get through this group.
57.
And with it being 3 from 5, just need to be consistent enough at the right time to manage to
60.
Sneak into one of those progression positions.
He's a more deliberate player. It's his time and sets. Not a very accelerated backswing.
25.
That could just disturb the rhythm a little bit of some of these players that just like to get on with it, like a Martyn Turner. But Thornton wanted to get on with it in his opening game. 5 180s against Martyn Turner. And getting that one wrapped up, and he ended it in style. 12 data and a 13 at the back end of that one.
Usually we'd say that someone's got
100.
the meter running, but he's still got another 3 games to play. He's going to continue his possession of maximums here. He's sick for the night. And we're only into the first leg of his second game, leaving 101 after 12 for a potential 15.
He's come here as the favourite.
99.
Stamping his
Robert
authority
Yorkar,
on this group the way a
101.
favourite would. This one straight up the line for Ian Moss. He's a treble, a single and a double. All on the 20s. All on the 20s, I said, Ian. What are you doing in the 5s, man?
82. Robert
He covers it
Yorkar,
well,
60.
leaves a finish. But you expect Thornton to leave himself on tops. Tops. He has a love affair with tops.
Game shot on the first leg.
He's just cheated
Robert
on
Thornton.
tops with double 10. But regardless of that, it's a victory for Robert Thornton in that opening leg. The love affair, he'll hope it will rekindle itself on tops as this
Second
one
leg,
goes.
Robert to throw first. Game on.
Well, it's more of the same for Robert Thornton. Favourite for the group, favourite for the week.
137.
Will be one of the favourites in that World Championships, the Seniors World Championships at Purfleet in not too many more weeks' time.
And you think if he keeps playing to this level, it's going to be very hard in this group for anyone to stop him. And then going into Saturday
40.
night, you give him a really, really good chance. Just when you compare and contrast what you've seen so far this week. Richie Howson played some good stuff on Monday and Tuesday.
100.
But it's Thornton who the bookmakers have had as favourite to win the week right from the very get-go.
Well, there's one thing we can say about the week. We have now seen the winner.
140.
Because we've seen all the players now that we're getting a chance to cast our eye over Ian Moss. All the players that will be taking part this week, you have seen them in action.
58.
Are you any the wiser who's going to take this one? Are you, Henry, any the wiser?
I'll tell you who's going to win the week, Matthew Edgar. I'm going to tell you now. It's going to be the player that gets the winning double.
60.
How's those splinters doing for you?
Actually, quite itchy. Hopefully, I won't get any splinters. Touch wood.
81.
It was a terrible pun. I'm not taking any credit for it either. I may have been fed that one. And Ian Moss is feeding off of scraps at the minute, such as the
92.
scoring prowess
Robert
of the
Yorkar,
Fawn in this one.
125.
1-2-5 after 12 for a 2-0 lead.
65.
And we've spoke a lot about counting of players and how, even in their senior years, they've got so much wrong. Ian Moss leaving himself on 169. And this is where if you get 2 trebles, you're really kicking yourself when there's been a bit of a counting error.
99. Robert Yorkar, 60.
And Thornton rekindle that love affair with tops.
Game shot on the second leg. Robert Thornton.
It was like a second leg, which was a replay to the first. Win it within 6 visits. Miss the tops, get the double 10 on the back of a 60 combination, lead 2-0. I promise you, you did not watch a replay, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, Moss playing his part in this one. There is not really much to split them in the averages. Looks like he's about to put his foot down on the accelerator. Fills it up for the second maximum of this game, split one apiece. Seen a fair few maximums already tonight, actually.
43.
7 so far in our opening 2 games. We're now on 9 maximums. We're only part way through match number 3.
Now just have a look here, and we can see from the side-on
82.
angle the way that Ian Moss's body is positioned. He almost has both of his arms outstretched as if he's the Angel of the North. With the darling of Ayrshire, piles in yet another max.
I think we know what the theme of tonight is. 180s. All Hinks.
83.
Some wax for them tonsils or something when he's finished with this one, because they are going to be used a lot.
$46 in your car, 156.
For his first leg, not just of this match, but of his Super Series life. Ian Moss is on debut. Another 180 already in this leg. 75 scored, leaves him 81.
94.
He should, from this point, get his first dart at a double in the Super Series. Could be more.
28.
Will be
in
more.
your car, 62.
Double. 16.
30.
He had a plan and he stuck to it. Knowing he had the luxury of time with Thornton back on 204. But he's not going to be for much longer.
85 in your
Slip
car,
for the
32.
last. Doesn't apply the sort of pressure that he'd have wanted.
Game
And
shot on the
Ian
third
Moss
leg.
wins
Ian
his
Moss.
first leg here at the MODUS Super Series.
Fourth leg, Roberts.
And when you're on debut in competitions like this, you just want that first leg to settle you down. Oh, Thornton's in again here.
140.
He is playing the better if we look at the averages of the two. And Ian Moss playing where I expected him to be, sort of around that mid-80s. Bang on the 85. 85.41 before this.
140.
He looked to fill that up for the second time of this match. I did think the bookies got Ian Moss a little bit wrong on this week. I think they've underestimated the talent of Ian Moss.
And we're very lucky the way that stats and research can be done these days, where we can have a look at various stats and various
100.
outlets which provide us with such vital information, and it gives us the opportunity to, especially when we have a look at the stats, and sometimes when we give our tips and that, it's based off what we see
96.
from those statistic tables, because when you get a big sample over a long period of time, it does, by and large, barring of course the odd exception, play to type. Well, over the past 12 months at Ian Moss, a 50% win ratio.
137.
And looking at his stats for the past 12 months, interestingly, just as you say, the front nine is an average of 94, as you mentioned earlier, but when it comes to the checkout percentages, 29.24%. It can't be around that in this elite company at the Super Series. It isn't at the minute, it's 1 out of 2. He won't be given the chance to improve upon it because he couldn't find the treble 18 with the second dart. He does in the third. And so there's 84 for Thornton for 3-1. Has to go. So 64 left. He's going to give himself 1 dart at the bullseye.
59.
And he's a whiff of a wire away.
Moss raising his average up to the 92 mark. He's 32 points away from getting this back on throw. This is to break the Robert Thornton throw. He is taking his time. He is setting the dart. Drop that one low. Got one more. He's on the wire.
No score.
Opportunity
Robert
has come
Yokar,
and gone
25.
for Ian Moss. That was his chance to level this up. That was a chance to put it back on throw and probably make himself favourite for the match.
Game
Instead,
on the 4th flag. Robert Thornton.
he missed that opportunity, and Robert Thornton doesn't need too many invitations. 17 double 4, 17 dart leg.
5th flag in
He's
to
now
throw
one leg
first.
away
Game
from the
on.
match. Ian Moss comes to the board. Probably thinking this should be a level game. This should be 2-2. I should be throwing to take the lead. Instead, he is throwing to stay in this match. But one thing that can be said, he's made a really good account of himself here on his debut
41.
game. And like I expected, I think he's going to be a bit of a threat to the other players.
Yeah, he's shown he's going to be a preeminent danger. Robert Thornton is showing signs that he is the man to beat in this group. Remember, if you are new to us here at the Super Series, 3 from 5 go through to this group to Saturday night's final. 2 from 6 from the group which takes place tomorrow morning, Group C. They'll join Richie Howson,
60.
who has already qualified for Saturday night's finals after winning Group A on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. For a 6-player field where only the winner will go through to a Champions Week, which will take place after 12 weeks of play, with the winner winning £20,000 and the illustrious Super Series trophy.
$140. 97.
Next game coming up is Martyn Turner, Trina Gulliver, 10-time Women's World Champion. Speaking of Martyn Turner, impressed in the opening games.
96.
A, B and C did lose his opener to Robert Thornton, but as Ian Moss is possibly about to find out, that might be a common theme of this evening.
76. In your car, 164.
So Thornton's going to get an opportunity now, 103 to get the job done to seal a 4-1 success. 85 average.
Robert your car, 103.
Number 2, maximums 3 out of 6 in the doubles. Much improved display on that part of the board. He needs a treble here because Moss is back for double 12 to extend this match.
In your car, 24.
If we go back to those missed opportunities in the last, this would have been to go 3-2 ahead. It was all the way over to the sixes. One of my favourite doubles, this for a right-handed player.
12.
Not for Ian
Robert
Moss.
your car, 66.
Tops for the match.
Game, shot,
and Robert
and the
Thornton
match. Robert Thornton.
Loves tops, but he hadn't lived it in that game. He normally came low on it until it really mattered at the very end, and that's when Robert Thornton normally stands up and he's countered and gets over the line there with a 4-1 success over Ian Moss, who's shown plenty in that match to suggest he's going to be highly competitive in this group. Martyn Turner will hope to be very competitive in this group. He'll hope to qualify for Saturday night's final. He wants to get points on the board, and he's coming up next against Trina Gulliver.
This is the MODUS Super Series. $180.
Yeah, darts 6 days a week and twice on Thursdays and Fridays, 8 sessions, and it will not cost you a penny to watch. Won't cost you a penny to attend either. If you want to be here for finals night on Saturday, just head to dartshop.tv and secure your free tickets. Well, before that break, we saw Robert Thornton continue a flying start to this evening's action. The Scotsman winning 4-1 against debutant Ian Moss, who struggled on the doubles in that one. Thornton, though, was 4 out of 7, added 2 more 180s to his tally, which is now 7 after 2 outings for him, and it is a really strong start for the Scotsman. The next match is Martyn Turner against Trina Gulliver. The pair have both played and have both been beaten in their opening matches. Turner went down 4-2 to Robert Thornton, while Gulliver was heavily beaten by Adam Mould. But Turner did produce some good stuff in Group A earlier on this week, and it's that combination finishing that has been a key feature of his game, showcasing that with a couple of clinical outshots here. 76 against Darren Johnson, who was in action this afternoon, as was Andy Jenkins, who was on the wrong end of this 95 finish from Martyn Turner, the man with one of the most interesting nicknames in darts. It's just occurred to me, actually, that we've got players with the nicknames this week, or in this group even. The Thorn, Mossy, Mouldy and the Mutts Nuts. Thank goodness for Trina Gulliver keeping it classy as a Golden Girl. The rest of it sounds rather unpleasant, doesn't it? Well, always classy, equally elegant and eloquent in the commentary box, Matthew Edgar and Henry Deacon.
I'm glad you didn't say unpleasant. I thought that was where that was going. Thank you very much indeed, Merv. So, Trina Gulliver up against Martyn Turner. Our 4th game of the evening already. How the matches have flown by over the last hour or so here at the Super Series. What do you think we're going to see from Trina in her second offering here?
I think we're going to get more of the same that we saw in the first game. She was certainly competitive. She certainly got herself down and competed, but when it got to the doubles, it just looked a bit edgy. There was dropping a bit low, and I think she will address that. I think she would have sorted that out. You don't win 10 world championships and the amount of titles she has, including that women's tour this year, if you're not able to go and put those things right. So the guys can certainly be on alert here, because she's certainly shown enough signs that there is some danger ahead.
123.
And if you are playing Chris Murphy bingo at home, you can mark off the Mutts Nuts about 6 times so far tonight, because he said he loves saying it, and I think he's going to drop it in at every
81.
single opportunity.
$41.
All the games being officiated by our legendary referee, Paul Hinks. One of our great team of officials here at the Super Series.
78.
Including the likes of Charlie Corsafine, who's been on some of the biggest stages in world darts over the last 12 months. Marco Meyer, who's been refereeing
60.
world championships for the best part of a decade. And we also have Owen Binks as well as part of our refereeing team. Who, of course, was spotting, or chalking, should I say, even at the PDC World Championship. Spotting is a completely different thing. He was marking at the World Championships,
94.
even got himself a semi as well.
Trina's opened this, like we said, competitively enough.
81.
Finding a treble with the visits. Keeping very close to Martyn Turner, keeping him fair, keeping him honest.
99.
See if he can produce what he produced in Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday, and you can just see him just gritting the teeth
60.
Knows his
Martyn Turner,
start this off with
84.
defeat, but he knows as well that that is not the end of the world, because there are 3 players from the 5 that go through. So if you can get 2 wins today, that would be quite a good return.
59. Trina Gulliver, 146.
The 146 for Trina will not go. So
60.
25
Martyn
for the
Turner,
Muts Nuts.
25.
He likes that combo, and it's kind of worked for him, hasn't it, all week long? Takes the opener against Gulliver. Now, we saw in his first game against Thornton an average around about 76. He's running at about that one of the opening throws of this one. And we have to say, it's kind of come somewhat unexpectedly when you consider the level of play he was being at, especially on Tuesday and Wednesday in Group A.
100.
Well, the thing we can say with that is we expect more to come from Martyn Turner. Especially when he starts getting that dart like that. That first dart was perfect there for Martyn Turner. I expected 140 there from him, and I think he'd be a little bit disappointed with the return of 83 points following that first dart sat perfectly. But Trina
81
continues this trend of just finding a trebler throw with this sort of front 9, and just keeps her dangerous, keeps her competitive
58.
in these matches.
Much more positive from Trina, and I think key to it was in that first game there's a lot of darts that were dipping in between that little set, just underneath the treble 1, right on the Y next to the 20, and because her, well, a bit like that, case in point there, and because the darts kick up, where the flights are positioned, it blocks the path to the treble 20 bed, and she's been trying to readjust instead of heading down for the 19s, and that was kind of the problem in the first game, but that hasn't really been something that's been too much of an issue in game 2 up until that visit there.
Well, what that issue was the wrong timing as well. We come out of that front 9 and start getting into this back end where it's set up time, and that is set up perfectly by Trina Gulliver. Just starting to think she was offering Martyn Turner a way back into this leg. And that 137.
42.
So more darts will be afforded to Trina. She had 8 darts at a double in the last game without a Mould and wasn't able to convert any of them. He's going to get some more in this one.
Game shot on the second leg.
Nice finish there from Trina Gulliver, 62. That looked drama-free there for the Golden Girl. Levels up the game here with Martyn Turner.
Third leg, Martyn to throw first.
He's nowhere near what we've seen from him so far this week.
Just having a look at Trina from the first game to this one, there just seems to be a bit more fluency about her action. Whereas in the first game, maybe at times you could say it was a little bit stop-start, but it just looks
95.
far more far and just looks far clearer on the eye and much more fluent.
96.
More aggressive would be, I think, the go-to here. Oh, she's finding, isn't she?
100.
Martyn needs to start finding what he found in the first couple of days if he wants to be winning this one, because Trina was chasing him in. What a great shot there from Martyn Turner, because she was just putting the pressure on, and he finds a maximum visit.
.22, Martyn Turner, 131.
So 6 from here to weather the storm and to open up a 2-1 lead, but that's a flying to the 5.
95.
Well recovered to leave himself on double 18 after 12. Gulliver back on 284.
40.
Just lost the scoring boots a little bit in this leg. Turner double 18.
Game
for 13. There's no mistake. And the difference in that leg, I think, has been quite conclusive to see. Martyn Turner has stepped up the level. Gulliver's scoring just dipped down a little bit there.
100.
Good dart again there from Trina. Just on that front 9, he's able just to get that treble of throw, which is,
99.
especially on a throw when Martyn Turner's not really producing too much, just giving her a bit of a cushion. That should equate to a couple of darts at a double.
Because actually in the scoring power pack, there's not too much in it.
83.
In terms of ton plus throws, it's 5-4 in Trina's favour and the solitary ton 40 plus throw from Turner. So scoring-wise, by and
96.
large, he has been able to keep tabs. And on throw here, she has 6 to level up. And there was just a threat, wasn't there, in the last leg that Turner may have turned the screw somewhat, but Gulliver there, ton 40, at first of the match, gives herself an opportunity to double 18 to level up. And just when he thought Turner was going to fly away,
140.
Gulliver
Trina Gulliver 36.
has kept him at bay.
Martyn was watching. This was a double hit
4.
last time, and it's an
Martyn
opportunity
78.
for Martyn Turner. Trina missing 3 darts to hold a throw. Possibly an unexpected chance here for Martyn Turner.
38.
It's not one that he is
Trina
able to
Gulliver
take.
32.
It's a well thrown dart right on the wire.
24.
And that is
Martyn
unfortunate there for
40.
Trina. A chance to level up the match. Martyn was loving tops earlier in the
Game shot on the
week.
4th leg.
He's going to love it even more so now. Another leg there where you would say Trina should have got over the line but wasn't able to convert the chance. She had a couple of legs
This
like
leg,
that against
Martyn to
Adam Mould. Probably
first.
3
Game
legs
on.
realistically, all things fair, that she should have won in that game. But now Martyn Turner throwing to serve this one out.
100.
It's probably fair to say that Trina Gulliver is showing a lot of patches, but it's just putting it all together. And if she can do
100.
that, she's going to get chances to win games, and she's going to win games.
140.
Martyn's picked up the pace. It's like the nerves of this game, the meat of the game has gone his way, and now he's starting to settle into it. But like for the rest
81.
of this game, Trina on that front 9, finding a treble every visit. And that just keeps the mind ticking. That just keeps the heart pounding,
45.
the nerves jangling. Martyn Turner, I can guarantee you now, he's going to want this game over as quick as possible. He doesn't want this to go anymore. He is
100.
fed up of the drama, I can guarantee you that.
And he's playing a 10 times world champion, so he should expect to play to the whistle if we're proverbially speaking.
140.
And that you're going to have to get that final dart at double to beat Gulliver. The victory isn't going to be handed to you on a silver platter as if
100.
you're
Martyn
dining at the
76.
Ritz. Now, 76 for the match. He does sometimes like to go the 16s for this. So 20 and tops to seal
Game shot
a
and the
4-1
match.
success
Martyn Turner.
for Martyn Turner against Trina Gulliver, who had her chances, had her opportunities, an improved performance from her first outing. But for Martyn Turner, an improved performance himself, 86 average compared to the 76 he put in against Thornton. So a 10-point swing already. Martyn Turner playing more like the player we saw on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday here at the Super Series. A player we've seen all week so far is going to be playing in our next match. That's Adam Mould. He's going to be taking on Ian Moss. Join us for that next.
So Martyn Turner is off the mark in Group B, but it's tough going for Trina Gulliver so far on her Super Series debut. That's after a 4-1 success for the Yorkshireman in that fourth match of the session, an average about 10 points higher than Trina, who did again get opportunities, 8 darts at double in both of her opening matches, but just one leg to show for it so far. The next match is Adam Mould against Ian Moss, who had differing fortunes in their first outings of the evening. Moss beaten by a rampant Robert Thornton after Adam Mould enjoyed a whitewash win over Trina Gulliver in his first match in this group, having finished third in Group A on his debut week at the Super Series. So a strong start for him, and he will be looking to follow it up by getting the better of Ian Moss here, who of course wants to turn things around from the opening defeat. Right then, Game 5 is a mouldy, mossy matchup, but I'm sure it will be far from a damp squib. And in our commentary box to talk you through it, a couple of fun guys in Henry Deacon and Matthew Edgar.
Thank you, Chris. Second chance to cast our eye over these players. We've seen Adam Mould here all week. He's actually a Challenge Tour semi-finalist, not a last 32, like the graphic would suggest. The 34-year-old from Aylesbury taking on Ian Moss, the 59-year-old. Says he made his appearance in 2014 in the World Championship. That's when he won the PDPA qualifier. Ended up on the runner-up of that, so he went into the prelim round. But that event, he went all the way to a last leg shootout in that against Rob Szabo from New Zealand. He's also played twice in the UK Open, 2011 and 2015. The tour card holder came through Q School in 2014. He's certainly got some pedigree and running seasonal average of 85. So he is one to watch and keep an eye on.
First leg, it's Adam to throw first.
Someone who has already caught our eye.
Game on.
Is Adam Mould, the ADC qualifier, number 3 on the ADC ranking system. Coming to this with a statement to put out, and he's certainly put that out and put his mark down across the first 3 days in Group A. And he's opened his campaign here with a 4-0 victory over the 10-time world champion Trina Gulliver.
He's taken some big scalps, hasn't he, this week? Getting some big names. And obviously Peter Manny didn't play at his best in Group A, but it's something that he can still take and put on the CV. Beating Trina Gulliver, put that on the CV. Put that on the CV whilst you're adding your notes and your references. That'll be a reference point. That was very Alan Partridge, I apologise.
What do you say about the names he's beat? Still got a big name
41.
coming his way later on tonight. Got the presence of Rob Thornton, former UK Open winner. Former Grand Prix winner.
100.
World Masters winner. The reigning and defending Seniors World Champion. Seniors World Match Play Champion.
60.
Mouldy certainly looking a lot more like what we expected of him after what we saw on the first couple of days.
Well, Adam required
94.
164. He's himself on 70 after 12. Steady opening leg here for Mould. As for Moss, it's not quite got going yet. Easy for me to say.
60. Adam in your car, 70. 66.
About to say better there from Adam Mould, but he wasn't able to wrap that one up. But he's got plenty of time. Ian Moss not even halfway through this leg yet. Stranded back on 280.
85. Adam in your car, 4. No score.
See the snarl yet from Adam. But Ian Moss still stranded out like the movie Castaway, no way off the island.
Now, I'm going to mention something which might sound quite bizarre because this could unravel for Mould here now.
133. Adam, you require
Let's see if we can
4.
take out this double 2 first. That's awkward, the way his darts stand up to attention. He's not going to see much of this. He might have to pick a corner, pick a side when he goes inside.
No
The double
score.
1
Ian
goes
requires
inside
62.
2. And Ian Moss, who was pretty much a passenger in this leg. The double 16 for an incredulous break.
Game shot on the first leg.
That will
Ian
feel
Moss.
like a dagger for Adam Mould. Now, on the 70, when he's gone inside on the single 8, is there a cause to say,
Second leg
because
in to throw
Moss
first.
is all
Game
the
on.
way back on 280, I will start the chain again?
Oh, absolutely not. In that sort of shot, if you like the 8s and things, you get the breakdown, he'll be absolutely fine over on the 4s. I don't think there'll be too much of a concern there for
60.
Mouldy on that. I just think there was bad thrown darts. The attempt at the double 4 was quite a bit off. The double 2 was a well thrown dart but blocked the bed, and he pulled them low twice on the double 1. But
180.
that reaction is class. When you have just done what he has done, where you've missed 8 darts to win the leg, and you've had your pocket picked, to open up with a 180, just to dismiss that negativity,
101.
well done, Adam Mould. And so imagine if he now rolls in with a 9 darter.
100.
Haven't seen one since Conor Heenahan got one in week 8 of the previous series. That's the second week we had here at the Super Series. And if we're talking about 9 data commentary quotes, Conor Heenahan, he's the man.
It's not quite the Mardle-esque call. Possibly really made that moment as well. That was one of my favourite
57.
bits, especially when it went to comms cam and he was jumping up and down on the chair.
Paul Hinks actually called that 9. It was myself and Paul Nicholson who had the pleasure of
164.
describing it in the commentary box. Will me and Matthew Edgar have the pleasure of describing a 164? Not on this particular occasion.
27.
If we're talking about omens and history repeating itself, such as Paul Hinks being on the stage, the 164 was where it started to unravel last time for Adam Mould. And again, he's just had that rejection of the dart. He needs to get one of those magnetic sticks. He's going to have a bad back the amount of time that he has to pick his darts up off the floor.
48. Adam Yokar, 137. $57. In your car, 155.
$19s. Double it. Oh, that's a good effort there from Ian Moss.
80.
Adam Mould, though, chance to get his throw back. 2 10s.
$75. In your
The
car,
reactions
38.
of Adam Mould are that of a surprise or why am I missing now, rather than the aggression that we've seen from him over the last couple of days, where when he misses that first dart, it's like, right, I'm going to get it with a second. The snarl seems to have gone out of his game, and a lot of the time you've got to feel confident to be able to have that aggression.
Game shot on the second leg. Ian Moss.
Don't know how he's got it in, but he has. He's Adam Mould by 2 legs to 0. And for the first time this week, Adam Mould's been riding on a crest of a wave.
Third
Monday,
leg.
Tuesday, Wednesday.
Ian to throw first. Sorry, Adam to throw first. Game on.
As we just double check whether it's Adam or Ian to throw first. It's Adam to throw first, and he's throwing some good darts. Ian Moss would be hoping it was him to throw first, and he could cancel out the 140.
Did you see Ian Moss there as well? He had his head down and he said Ian to throw first, and his ears pricked up, his head come up like, ooh, oh, I must have got it wrong. Happy days. Fortunately not Ian.
100.
All I'll say is I'm glad for Paul Hinks' sake that wasn't done in the Peter Manley versus Andy Jenkins game.
$140.
What a game that's been for the last 4 days. You'll get to see it again tomorrow, probably for the last time this week. I am looking forward to that one. It's been a fun watch, that one, for the last 4 days.
140.
Mossy is starting to fire. At the same time that Mouldy is starting to fire. Wonder how they came up with those nicknames.
60.
See, my parents decided my nickname already just by calling me Henry.
100. Adam, your car 161.
Whilst Matt thinks of a response to that, let's see whether Mould could take out the 161. Treble 17 would have left the bull. Moss with the same shot.
97. In your car 161.
He had a good poke at the 155. He found the 2 trebles but couldn't find the double. Can he have a poke at the 161? If he gets the 2 trebles, it's a poke at the bullseye. These two are just mirroring each other all the way down.
Adam Milcar 64.
Moss has really applied the pressure here. Adam Mould has yet to hit a double in 10 attempts.
48.
Make that 11.
24. Game shot on the third
Well, this is a
leg.
bizarre
Ian
game
Moss.
of darts. Ian Moss with a 13-dart breaker throw for a 3-0 lead, but Adam Mould has had opportunity after opportunity.
Fourth leg Ian to throw first.
But
Game
Ian
on.
Moss, the 13-darter there, and is taking advantage of the opportunities that he's been afforded.
$60.
It was like Adam Mould was in Takeshi's Castle, where you have that game where you got to get through all the doors. Well, every door was unlocked other than one, but he kept going through that door that was continually locked.
140.
Worked his way round that maze once too many times, and then he found out he got caught and then thrown into the sea.
Still feel, despite
60.
the 13-darter there from Ian Moss in the last one, though, that Mouldy could get himself back into this. He is averaging 6 points higher than his opponent, despite the fact he's 11 from 0
100.
on the doubles. So you expect that he's going to get more opportunities. Just if he starts taking them, he is out of lives. If he loses one more leg, he loses the match.
140. $100.
Yeah, he just doesn't seem happy, even though he's on to 161 after 9. He's good darts, Adam.
$7. Adam Milcar 161.
The Len Goodman score.
$97.
Like he was doing a bit of ballet there, didn't he, at the end of that one? This is where Mossy could think this one through. I'd be looking at switching down with that one just to guarantee leaving the finish.
140.
He's got other
Adam
ideas. He's just
Milcar
going to go with plan A,
64.
which is just hit treble 20s.
$48.
Still
In
can't
your
get over the
car,
line. 12
94.
attempts. This one is for the match.
You'd expect him to get a dart. Three left. And so Mould is going to get a chance
34.
to
Adam,
get
your
that
car,
elusive leg.
16.
He has missed 12 darts at double so far. Make that 13.
Eight.
That's
In your
15.
car, 60.
And that could be game, set, and match. Tops.
$20. Adam, your car,
But he
8.
has match darts that comes and goes. The hardest double to hit is the one to win the match. Don't tell Adam Mould that. He can't find one to win a leg at the minute.
Game shot on the 4th leg.
Adam Mould has acquainted himself to the doubles. The one around the ring, Adam. You found it. You get a leg on the board. Work to do, though. Trailing Ian Moss 3-1.
This leg, Adam to throw first. Game on.
18 darts. When you think, like, during the week, he'd normally use that amount of darts to win an entire leg. Never mind, just hit one single double.
57.
Saying that, though, the average still around the 80 mark. Isn't too shabby considering that he's thrown an extra leg of zeros.
$83.
It's like one of your doubling percentages, isn't it, Matt?
My doubling was actually the thing. The problem for me was I was outscored all the time. Actually,
98.
got one of the mini records at the World Championship, 75% on the doubles.
Was that because you only got 4 goes at double?
100.
Comes to something when you're getting stick from Henry. That's how far I have fallen.
140.
I'll bring up the 170 later.
$99.
Good scoring leg for both here on the front 9. That's not really been an issue, really, in this match. Story has been the back end of legs.
140.
Well, I suppose the story here for Adam Mould is if you're going to score this well, you're going to give yourself those opportunities at the doubles. You're going to allow yourself to miss. You just don't get 17 chances to miss.
Well, you've seen 17 darts at double go under.
177. Adam, your car, 66.
And this 66 has to go. Triple 10 the route for double 18.
Adam Mould.
And just like that, he finds a pop. It's 3-2 all of a sudden. Moss has the darts in the 6th. And suddenly this becomes an important leg for him because if he's broken, Mould would have the darts in the decider. And it just looks like, on the passage of play of the last couple of legs, Adam Mould is just upping it somewhat. Could be a Thornton turnaround here.
And I think Moss would have
41.
probably, or at least been hoping for a shot after that perfect 177 setup play. But you sort of feel in this situation now, the pressure is kind of on Ian Moss because he'll sense the comeback
60.
here and he'll sense that he has the darts in this leg. Realistically, if he is going to win this, it needs to be now. I think if it does go to a last leg, I would make Adam quite a strong favourite from that position.
Well, the story of this match has been a little bit
83.
like a round of golf where Ian Moss has just been chipping it up and just quietly getting on the green towards par, whereas Adam Mould, a fantastic tee-off shot, but he's free-putted it or hasn't even free putted it.
140.
And that was why Moss was given the opportunities. But now Mould has managed to combine his play, and that is why he's charging back into this.
Yeah, that last bit you said there, I've got no idea what you're on about, because I've never really
95.
got on with golf. Tried it a couple of times, but I could never get past the clown. The teeth always come down, it doesn't go through, and I just get frustrated.
Yeah, I once went to Crazy Golf and looked at a clown, but
41.
it turned out I was actually looking at myself in the mirror. You actually asked me when you first commentated with me whether I was Ronald McDonald or not.
Well, this could be perfect from Mossy.
123.
Ooh. That deflection not only cost him the maximum, but it cost him the opportunity to leave a finish. 159 can't be done with 3 darts. Can be done with 6.
60.
Which is what he is now going to get because of that troublous visit from Adam Mould. So if Ian Moss is going to win this game, you feel it is in this next 6 darts.
$39.
Someone knocking at the door, Ian Moss. It is Mr. Opportunity. You need to go let him in. 39 points does leave him on 120, but it is going to be under pressure. The snarl is
100.
back from Adam Mould.
120.
That makes this treble 20 really hard to find. That is a quality dart from Ian Moss.
80. Adam Yulkar, 100.
Good effort. Very, very good effort, considering that first one was completely blocked. Attempt to the tops, but
40.
tops. Just the one time is what Ian Moss needs to win this match.
Double 10.
Game shot
And in it
the
goes.
match. Ian Moss.
And it was a tale of the doubles. For Mould, it was dross. And for Moss, he gets the win by 4 legs to 2 in our halfway game here on Thursday night at the MODUS Super Series. 4 out of 12 there for Moss. 2 from 19 for Adam Mould. I mean, that was where the game was won and lost, because if you look at the other statistical metrics, it was quite similar. Well, Matthew Edgar's going to race his way up to the balcony to have a chat with Chris Murphy at the halfway stage. And then coming up after this short break, it's going to be a rematch from the 2022 World Seniors when Robert Thornton takes on Trina Gulliver.
Welcome back. Well, 5 games in, the halfway stage of the evening session. It's time to have a chat with Matt, Mr. Edgar, alongside me. We'll start with what we just saw there from Ian Moss and Adam Mould, and it was double trouble, wasn't it, for Mouldy?
Yeah, and I mean, let's be real about this. He averaged 81.90, which is quite a respectable average still. You know, you put that anywhere else, certainly like in your sort of counties, that's probably a standard and winning most weeks. And that was missing 17 darts at a double still. He was still able to average nearly 82, so something was going right for him there, but he'll be disappointed with that defeat. He'll feel he should have got that one.
Yeah, a lot's going right for Robert Thornton, and we can illustrate that with our first look at the Group B table now. Thornton in fine form so far, 7 180s in 2 matches, two wins out of 2. He's already looking a shoe-in to finish in the top 3.
Yeah, he's already got, like say, those 2 victories on the board. He'll be hoping to leave here with a clean sweep, 4 victories, getting those 8 points. The main thing for him is Saturday. He needs to get through to that Saturday, and he's got to put a few things right there. He alluded to it in his interviews earlier on, that when he gets through to Saturday, it's just not worked out for him. I think this is going to benefit him, just doing 2 days and then going in rather than doing the full week, because, like he's mentioned before, fatigue can kick in. I played in this all week. It is tough going. You're playing nearly 30 matches if you're going to want to win this from the very start. So I think it's going to benefit him coming in and just playing these 8 games that he's going to be playing in Group B.
Yeah, good going for him. Tough going for Trina Gulliver so far. She's lost her first 2 matches, but she has had opportunities, hasn't she? 16 darts at double, but only 1 leg to show for it.
Yeah, and she's been very, very competitive, especially on that front 9. That's where she's really producing. She's getting a treble every throw, which is keeping her with the pace. That setup shot is just letting her opponent back in at times. And then certainly, like you say, if she can get a few more of these doubles going, these score lines are going to get tighter, if not turn the opposite way around. Yeah,
complete contrast for Robert Thornton. As we've mentioned, he's won both of his opening matches so far tonight. Started with victory over Martyn Turner, taking out tops to do so. When he gets double top, usually Robert Thornton is on form, and that form continued into his second match against Ian Moss. Can you see anybody? I mean, we said he's a shoo-in for the top 3. Is he a shoo-in for you for the top 1?
Well, he's the favourite to do so, isn't he? He's the favourite not only just for this group, but for the week. And at the moment, I've not seen anything that I can put forward to argue against that. So I'd have to go with that at this point in time.
Right, well, let's get the action back underway. It is a game between 2 greats of the game gracing the stage here at the Super Series. Trina Gulliver against Robert Thornton, as described by Matthew Edgar and Henry Deacon.
Chris, thank you very much indeed. As you mentioned, 2 legends of the game going toe-to-toe in this one. And it's not the first time these 2 have taken on each other on the televised stage. These 2 took part in the World Seniors Championship in 2022, and they met in the second round stage. It was Robert Thornton who was a 3-0 victor on that occasion, a 92.63 average. 5 180s in that game, a 150 checkout as well for the Thorn. It was a really, really impressive performance in a straight sets win. What is going to happen, though, in this particular matchup? We are about to find out. We're going to do it in the company of Matthew Edgar. And Matt, we've seen an improvement from first game to second for Trina Gulliver, but there's no hiding away from the fact that this is a different task entirely, taking on Robert Thornton, who seems to be the man to beat in this group.
Yeah, she's climbed a few hills, but this one's a mountain. Not only the man to beat in this group, but the man to beat this week, according to the odds compilers. And like I just said to Chris Murphy, when he says,
81.
How do you assess it? Well, at the moment, what can we put up against it? You know, we can look at Robert Thornton. We've also got to look at the chasing pack and say who's going to emerge and beat Robert Thornton.
60.
At the moment, I can't see where that's coming from.
$40. 140.
Has filled that bed up 7 times already today for the 180s. In his first 2 matches, that he won 4-2 and 4-1. So 11
85.
legs, 7 maximums for Robert Thornton. And that is why he is the big favourite to win this group.
139.
Headed downstairs. Didn't want to go for the max on that particular occasion. Trina would like a max.
100.
Not to be, so
WR
Thornton has 6 on 62, although some promising start for Gulliver. So 1 dart at Old
Game shot
Faithful,
on the first leg. Robert
which is
Thornton.
fruitful for Robert Thornton, leading Trina Gulliver by a leg to 0. And in that meeting at the World Seniors, that 3-0 success for Thornton, it was actually
Second leg, Trina just threw
9-1
first. Game on.
in leg play. So he extends that record against Gulliver now to 10-1. We're just seeing again Trina just losing the line
11.
a little bit. We saw this in her opening match against Adam Mould, but it was an issue she quickly
60.
rectified, though, against Martyn Turner in Game 4.
Just about to say, when Robert Thornton hears a call of 11, he will see that as an invitation.
120.
But then he just put 3 well-thrown darts just on the top wire. Gulliver rectifies the situation with that 120.
140.
I'd say at the start of the day when Robert Thornton mentioned about having that break, that I
139.
felt like it would be good for him. We did see him withdraw from events at the back end of last year. It was a very grueling year for Robert Thornton, playing an awful lot of darts.
57.
But you said Trina got better from game 1 and 2. She certainly got better again here in this one. Finding plenty of
100.
trebles. Thornton is going to have to make sure he is at his best in this one.
84.
Well, he's averaging a shade under 95, shot down to 93 now, but he's being forced to play at that level because Trina has upped it significantly from what we've seen in the first 2 matches, and is favourite to level this up.
41. Robert
We're not getting in trouble there,
160.
leads on 90. Thornton 160. You would have back against it. You will now. Gulliver returns to 90.
90.
And you sense it has to go with Thornton most likely getting 2 darts at tops.
We'll stay on that line for the ball.
48.
Comes
Robert
wide,
Youngman,
so
60.
Thornton, you'd imagine, is going to get 2 darts at his favourite double top.
Game shot
Only
on the
needs the
second
1.
leg. Robert Thornton.
And that was a good leg from both, but Robert Thornton is the man that comes away with the leg. And if we was going to nitpick and we're going to pick out a point within that leg, it's
Third leg,
exactly
Robert,
what I was
you
just
throw
saying with
first.
Chris Murphy. It's
Game
that
on.
setup play for Trina when she left herself on 131 and got the 41 to leave the 90. From 131, she was only able to carve herself a dart at the bull.
81.
This part of the leg, though, Trina, absolutely no problems. Looking dangerous. Case in point.
180.
The perfect start for Gulliver. Her first max
50.
of this competition. Can she follow it up with a second? No is the answer. We still haven't seen a
60.
televised 9-dart leg by a female player as of yet, although you expect that to happen in the near future when you've got the likes of Lisa, Fallon and Bo doing what they're doing at this present moment in time. It's actually a weird
100.
anomaly that has yet to be breached in the game, you have to say.
He's actually broken Robert Thornton in this front
60.
9. Outscored him here by 69 points. This is the part where things just go a little bit
95.
wrong. That's gone very wrong for Robert Thornton. Losing the line means he's not left himself a finish. Trina has an opportunity here to try and get that throw back.
60.
.77 scored, 98 remaining.
97.
Trying to knock the
Trina
60 off to leave himself 38.
141.
2 trebles needed for Gulliver. There's 1. Down she goes. Looking at the 15s to leave herself double 18.
85. Robert
18's where
Youngman,
Thornton
78.
will be starting on this combination. or won't be. It's what he's trying to do. That leaves him 74. Good recovery, double 16.
Game shot on the
Brilliant.
third leg. Robert Thornton.
Absolutely brilliant. That's why he has won those 2 titles on the senior tour last year, that match play and that World Championship cross. He was able to reset. That was a very poor dart. It was in the big fat part of the single 4, nowhere near the treble 18, which is what he was going for, and he absolutely recovered it perfectly. Treble 14, double 16. Kudos, Robert Thornton.
100.
And he let out a yelp of emotion there, knowing the significance of it, with Trina poised on 56.
36.
And we are seeing a trend here from Trina. An improvement upon each game. And she could play at this level and keep to this level. She will win games in this group, or at least have chances to win games in this
43.
group.
I'll go with your first statement in the fact that she would win games with this. Just a shame that she's put it in.
120.
Here's Robert Thornton. Now, that one wasn't touching. Paul Hinks had a good look at that one. If the board was just touching the face, it didn't have to penetrate the board, it would have counted. And those 20 points would have really helped Robert Thornton in this situation, because he'd have been able to move
100.
down to the 19s at 265 to try and leave a finish with just 1 treble. He now needs 2.
81.
And now Trina, 6 darts and 198 to get that leg on the board. That first dart goes above. It
100.
does just open up the bed a little bit for the treble. And so 98 to pull one back.
140.
But it's going to be under the severest of pressure.
It's a polished performance from Robert Thornton. Trina's ran into the best of him. Robert Thornton, who's yet to miss a double in this match, wants 64 to win it 4-0.
And it is his favourite tops.
44. Trina Gulliver, 40.
Which goes a begging. And so Gulliver tops.
Game shot on the
She hits what Thornton misses. And gets a leg on the board, but it's Thornton who has the throw to seal a 4-1 success.
This leg, Robert to throw first. Game on.
But these are going to be the sorts of games where Robert Thornton's got to be careful, because we saw it early on
125.
this morning, didn't we?
He said be careful. He opened with that 5 and then 2 trebles. A really good reaction there from Robert Thornton. Trina will chase him down. First start again for Robert.
45.
Just lost the line here. And we go back to this morning in that game between Darren Johnson and Alan Norris. Johnson leading 3-0. It looked at that point for the world as if Johnson was going to go on and claim the 2 points, but
81.
Norris just kept himself in there and managed to find a way. Courtesy of some spectacular finishing, it had to be said.
77.
Can Gulliver draw inspiration? That's a bounce out that time for Thornton. An opportunity to be had here for Gulliver, but now she finds the drift into the 5.
125.
But that's a great recovery.
He's making a bit of a mess of this back end.
41.
Trina put herself back in the mix.
So 174 left.
40.
Here's your opportunity, Robert Thornton, to retake a grip on this match.
140. Trina Car 155.
Saw Ian Moss go close to this. He got the treble 20 and the treble 19. Gulliver's just going to set this one up. 75.
97. Robert Car
Sort of
73.
feel this one's got to go for Robert. I think 64. Probably going to go to the 14s to leave the ball.
48.
But the ball
Trina Car 58.
is embedded. And so Gulliver to continue the comeback charge. Now she needs 14. For Thornton's favourite tops.
18. Robert Car
And it is not a friend to Trina. That could be a final dart as Thornton returns to 25.
6 of 17s for fours.
Game shot
And
the
it's
match.
fours for
Robert
Thornton. As he wraps that one up. 4-1 victory to make it 3 from 3. Trina pushed him all the way. Keep your eye on her. She is going to be competitive. We've got one more game for Trina Gulliver tonight, and that one's going to be against Ian Moss. We'll see Robert Thornton again, but not before we see Martyn Turner taking on Adam Mould.
It's 3 for Thornton in terms of wins tonight at the Super Series, the latest against Trina Gulliver. But the Golden Girl seems to be lifting her level with every game that goes by. You can see there an average just shy of 80 for Gulliver, only 5 points worse off than Robert Thornton, but he was excellent with his finishing there. 4 out of 6 and a 4-1 win for the Thorn, who makes it a hat-trick of victories and is looking very, very good, perched right at the top of the table. 6 points, 4 clear of the rest of the field, though that will change in the next game because the players currently occupying the other provisional qualifying spots for finals night, 2nd and 3rd place, are about to go head-to-head in Adam Mould and Martyn Turner. Both men have 1 win and 1 defeat so far this evening. They are the 2 players to have come in from Group A and therefore have already met each other 3 times so far this week, with Turner just edging the head-to-head record so far. He got the win on Monday before this 1-4-8 finish helped Adam Mould return the results a day later. And then yesterday, Turner winning 4-3, a result that we haven't seen so far tonight. Perhaps this will be the one most likely to offer up all 7 legs. So can Adam Mould make that head-to-head level, or will Turner make it 3 wins against this opponent this week? Let's find out with Henry and Matt.
Thank you very much, Chris. And it is the one game we get to see in Group B where there's a head-to-head record from the week just gone. And as perfectly explained there by our hosts, who are we expecting in this one here, Matt? Because is it fair to say we haven't quite seen from either player yet the 100% that we saw from them on maybe Tuesday, Wednesday for our Group A?
Oh, absolutely. Both players played so much better on the first couple of days. I think, if anything, Martyn Turner's brought more of that form forward than Adam Mould has. Adam Mould did get a 4-1 victory. It was with a 72 average against Trina, and then he just was so far off it on the doubles in that game with Ian Moss.
131.
But still averaged near enough 82. But Martyn Turner's just looked more likely and more
57.
like the player that we have seen for the past couple of days.
100.
And what is the difference like when you transition from the daytime session into the
57.
evening session following the allocation in Group A?
You get a bit of a long wait, really. That's the first thing. So, obviously, you finished yesterday
100.
around about 2 o'clock. You get back. It's easier from now because the players all know that moving forward what time they're going to be on, because it's Saturday night, the same time slot as they're going to be playing over
60.
today and tomorrow.
170.
But it is a strange one. It's a weird big gap between the two, and you tend to find you get a bit more tired by the end of Thursday because you're still on that sleep pattern of the early mornings. Should we call it dart lag? Our version of jet lag.
100. Martin, your car 112. 88.
Well, they say the best way to deal with jet lag is to carry on as normal. With dart lag, that's exactly the same, and it sometimes sees you through.
45.
But it has been a lagging over process for Adam Mould from Wednesday to Thursday. That's abundantly clear to see. Turner, double 12. There's no aggression from him. Carrying on in the vein that he left on Wednesday. Into the levels that he was showing on Wednesday.
Second leg Adam to throw first.
For a time yesterday, did come close to trying to pit Reggie Howson to the post. This is more like it from Adam Mould. An opening max of the match to open up leg 2. Just looking
57.
to find something. I know he's got a victory tonight, but we're going to find something to raise those confidence levels.
100.
Yeah, the two have clashed a few times this week,
85.
and that familiarity can often bring something out in you as well when you're playing someone that you're used to playing. Because the other thing that will help both of these players is the pace of the game. They complement each other with the speed. It's just getting on with it, where we've seen from other players a little bit of a more slower pace. I'm not saying Robert Thornton's slow, but he's a little bit more deliberate than the two here, as is Trina Gulliver, and Ian Moss certainly likes to take his time and set.
89. $43. Adam, your car, 32.
For a level game.
$16.
More problems for the Mould. And the thing is, when you start to recognise this pattern of play as a player, it just promotes more and more misses, and then it comes with
96.
frustration.
Adam, your car, 16.
He's 2 from his last 22 attempts at double. That was in and out. That was in the double. You could see the puncture mark. You can see the frustration.
No score.
Which will continue to mount for Mould. Tops.
60. Adam, your car, 16.
Sensed the opportunity, couldn't take it. Mould returns to double 8. He's already got the double 8, but it bounced in and out the board.
Taking his time, I like this, just breaking the pattern, trying something different.
Game shot on the second
result.
leg. Adam Mould.
I like that from Adam Mould. Didn't just rush that one. He got in, got himself set, addressed the board, addressed the situation, and then delivered the product.
Third leg, Martyn to throw first. Game on.
Martyn Turner did have a dart there to steal that himself. All things considered, 1-1. Both holding throws, probably
60.
about right.
Fair result, I'd say. Of course, you can get in contact with us here at the MODUS Super Series. It's at MSS Darts on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And we have actually had a lot of communication this evening. Simon's been in touch, talking about our team of referees. And indeed, they are all top class.
57.
Every single one of them. And good people as well as great officials. And I know we have a little bit of a running joke at Owen's expense, but
135.
He's a good sport, isn't he, in that respect?
99. $134.
Chasing that one around the board. Got the desired result there, 134.
85.
And that's just gave him that little bit of a gap, the opportunity now to step in and tee up potentially the first
60.
break of throw in this match.
$85. Adam Milcar, 115. $99. Martyn Turner, 115.
Your turn to have a go at it, Martyn. Adam Mould couldn't see it off, can you? He's going to get a dart.
75.
Oh, and he
Adam
bends
Milcar,
the
16.
wire. Break opportunity for Mould.
Game
And he
shot on the
takes
third
full
leg.
advantage of
Adam
it.
Mould.
And that little celebration there just showed you the significance of it. Hasn't
Off
really
like Adam
got
to throw
going to the
first.
levels
Game
that we
on.
know he can get to this evening. But if he can just find a way of clawing as many points as possible, A, will give him a chance of
57.
qualification for tomorrow, and B, will give him almost a backhanded kind of compliment that He's not playing to his best, but can still obtain points on the
100.
board.
And that's what you need, isn't it? You can't win every game playing your best. If you need your best to win games, you are not going to go
96.
far in this game because you aren't going to produce your best every single time you step up to that hockey, especially when you're here for a week of darts like these two guys are. You need to be able to
140.
win that B game, sometimes even the C game, that is enough to get you over the line, where you can play good enough darts, where you can just ignore
45.
the negatives. Just keep pushing forward.
$60.
Adam just has a quick check at the scoreboard. We'll start down on the 19s on 303. We'll now head up. There's a couple of trebles.
59.
They're giving him a finish. So Turner will now have 6 himself on 201 to obtain the break back which Mould accrued in the previous leg.
105.
And he makes good hay of that. Moved across. The treble
92.
20 was
Martyn
obscured.
96.
And he leaves himself on 152. Turner 96 for the break back. 2 darts at double 18.
Game shot on the fourth leg. Martyn Turner.
In it goes for the regulation 15 for Martyn Turner. There's a 13-point gap in the averages, but that 15 darts
Fifth leg, Martyn to throw first. Game on.
is only good enough for 2 apiece. As the old saying goes, averages are just a guide.
52.
We'll also go for your comments this evening. Lee Seymour's been in touch. Obviously, we made a reference, didn't we, earlier on to Takeshi's Castle, and he said it reminded him of his
58.
mum, who unfortunately is no longer with us, and it was a nice little touching memory of one of her favourite programmes, which is nice to hear. Did you actually
44.
know that more people have been on the moon than have won Takeshi's Castle?
It was one of them shows I always
100.
thought I wouldn't mind having a little go at. It always looked like good fun, that, didn't it?
It did.
$60.
If the Super Series is a show you think you'd like to have a go on, you can go the same route that Adam Mould has. Go down to your ADC competitions.
100.
Check out the website, check out the calendar. There will be one local to you. I am very confident of that. Go pick up the ranking points and get yourself down here to the
100.
Super Series. There's also a partnership with the World Seniors in place. So if you are over the age of 50, you've got 2 options. Go down the ADC route, or you can get to the World
100.
Seniors. There's an event coming up at the end of January, which will also hold a World Championship qualifying place.
That was one of the best segues
38.
I have ever
Adam, your
heard.
car,
That was
143.
superb. Is this going to be superb? It could be stupendous.
Game
It
shot
is
on the fifth
absolutely
leg.
marvellous
Adam
for
Mould.
Mould. And it puts him one away. It gives him the darts of the match.
6 leg Adam to throw first.
And you
Game
have
on.
to say that that was a bolt from the blue.
$78.
And we're just wondering what spark Mould could find. Well, that may have just lit up the blue touch paper.
97. $85. $43.
Is that the moment where Adam Mould, like a shark swimming in the water, smells the blood?
100.
Enough to open a gap to force the 140 from Martyn Turner.
60.
Not able to do on this occasion. He's got one win so far, Martyn Turner. Earlier on, he beat Trina Gulliver.
60.
We'll have one more game
60.
to come after this. All the players you've seen in action today will be playing 4 matches. And then they'll be joining us again tomorrow to repeat the same 4 matches, but in
84.
reverse order.
In these last 2 legs, Adam Mould has just turned the screw,
85.
thanks in part to that
Adam,
1-4-3
94.
finish. But the Turner average as well has progressed. They're both averaging 79 now.
54.
And it is
Martyn
set
Turner,
up perfectly
156.
4 tops, 4 Mould if Turner cannot reply in kind with another big finish. So Mould tops for the match.
100. Adam Yokar, 40. Game shot on the
That
match.
completes
Adam
the second
Mould.
victory of the day for Adam Mould. He won 4-0 in his opening game against Trina Gulliver, and he's just beat Martyn Turner 4-2. That puts him on to 4 points, and that puts him highly competitive of joining Richie Howson in Saturday night's final.
Welcome back. And so Adam Mould doubles up on wins tonight and doubles up on wins this week against Martyn Turner. The pair's head-to-head record over the last 4 days now level at 2-2 after a 4-2 success for the ADC qualifier Adam Mould, a win that included a rather eye-catching 1-4-3 checkout, and it means that in the group table, Adam Mould finds himself in second place behind Robert Thornton. Ian Moss can join him on 4 points if he wins his next match. That's against Trina Gulliver, currently at the bottom of the table, yet to get off the mark. But she has seemed to improve game by game tonight. She took out a nice 62 checkout against Martyn Turner in her previous match. And then in the one just after that, took a leg off Robert Thornton as well. Played some decent darts in that one. As for Ian Moss, well, his maiden victory at the Super Series came against the man we just saw win for the second time tonight, Adam Mould. Getting over the line with that double 10 and looking to join Mould on 4 points.
Mid-80s for large swathes of that match. And as I say, getting better as the night goes on. And okay, she's going to have to possibly average around that and maybe a little bit higher to get the better of Moss. But there's an opportunity there for certain for the Golden Girl to get her first win. But Ian Moss will be saying and thinking exactly the same.
Yeah, Ian Moss has played very well in spells, hasn't he? He's put some good performances in. That performance against Robert Thornton,
First leg is Trina to
did
throw
lose
first.
4-1, but he averaged 86. He averaged better than Robert Thornton in that match. He followed that with a win over Adam Mould. So I think this one's going to be very competitive, to say the least.
24.
Now, we've got a little bit of inside information on Ian Moss. Now, apparently Ian was the last player to get a 9-darter in the Swindon Super League before
140.
COVID put paid to it at the beginning of 2020. Apparently he's been playing very well the last few months and has won a competition in Cirencester in November, and he beat another one of our regulars in the Super Series in Lee Evans in the final of that particular competition. So that's the form guide of Ian Moss of late.
100.
So we've also got that form guide of the seniors where he runs about the 85 sort of averages. What I sort of expected from him tonight as well. I think if I was being honest, Trina's probably performing beyond what I expected of her tonight. When we look at the form line of the recent performances, he's certainly finding something here. And if this is preparation for an attack on that World Seniors Championship, he's putting herself in good stead for that.
Do you expect the players that are going to be playing here in the build-up to that event to be the ones that will have a
45.
better chance perhaps than those that have decided not to come here in preparation to that event, or not been here in preparation to that event?
Well, everyone will prepare differently and everyone will have different routines and systems and things in place.
58.
What they feel is the best way to get the best out of them. I can tell you that Ian Moss' best way to get out of him would be to do a couple of maths lessons, because for the second time tonight, he's left himself on a bit of a bogey.
95.
And by choice.
I was going to say, those Rishi Sunak extra math sessions won't apply, will they, to Ian Moss? Although, to be fair, he did say that it's going to be maths lessons up to 18, but I can count to 20.
131. Trina Gulliver 97.
Excellent setup play there from Ian Moss. Leaves himself on double 16, his preferred double. Double a choice. Will Trina get a dart at the double?
57. In your
This
car,
is for a breaker
32.
throw in the opening leg for Ian Moss. 3 darts at double 16.
Game shot on the first leg. Ian Moss.
And this is probably where we've seen Ian Moss a lot, haven't we, over the last year or so? Well, that's what the stats say, around that 6-visit region.
Second leg in to throw first. Game on.
Here he's playing to type, playing to stats, playing to form. He plays himself into form. He will no doubt be looking at getting into that Seniors World Championship when the qualifier comes up later on this month, just about 3 weeks away.
59.
That one taking place in Reading, 27th to the 29th of January. So if you are over the age of 50, you can get your darts out, head down to Reading
45.
at the end of the month. Take place in 2 of the World Championship qualifiers.
Of course, make sure you sign up to be a World Senior Darts
64.
Tour card holder. To do that first, more information on that is on the World Seniors website.
$140.
But Ian Moss here averaging 95, leaving 176 after 9. And this is an upping of the levels that
100.
we've seen from him so far. Still got one more game after this. He takes on Martyn Turner in the final match of the night. For Trina, this is her
100.
last excursion on her first foray into Super Series darts. And sandwiched in between Ian Moss's third and fourth game of the night is Adam Mould against Robert
83.
Thornton after this one.
In your car, 76.
There's 76 here for Moss to open up a 2-0 lead, this time within the space of 15. Could be 14 if the double 8 goes first time of asking.
Game shot
And
on
it
the
does
second
go
leg.
first time
Ian
of
Moss.
asking. And it is a really impressive performance by Ian Moss so far. Leading Trina Gulliver 2-0. Average just underneath 97. 2 out of 3 on the doubles.
Third leg, Trina to throw
There's
first.
not really much
Game
not to
on.
like about this.
Well, we know he's got it in the locker because earlier this year, in the last 16 game on the World Seniors match play qualifier, he averaged 101.04 in a game with Mark Walsh. This one slightly under, but you wouldn't rule him out getting up to the 100 average
60.
with the way that he's performing in this one.
Trina herself averaging 82.
85.
But just hasn't been afforded the opportunities.
$125.
One of these players return to action tomorrow night from 10 o'clock. That's going to be the second part of what we like to call Decision Day here
95.
at the Super Series. We'll begin at 9:30 with the conclusion of Group C, which is headed by Darren Johnson at the halfway stage. And Peter Manley still has a chance of qualifying through it.
180.
Ian Moss fills the bed up for the first max of the match. It ticks his average way above the ton to 102.5 and leaves himself on 136 after 9.
100.
And he's had to
In
leave
your
himself
car,
on that mark
136.
because Gulliver bears down 81 if this blockbuster finish doesn't go.
It could. We saw the 136 earlier on this morning.
96.
He leaves himself
car,
tops after
81.
12. But this just shows you what we're saying earlier, that Trina is always there or thereabouts. Left tops after 12, but he's going to have to hope that Gulliver misses first. It's a dart at the ball for Trina. She steps back. She composes. She readdresses the board.
36. In your car, 40.
Ian Moss, 3 darts in hand now for the double break. Put himself 1 leg away from his second victory of the day.
Game shot on the third leg.
This is a good,
Ian Moss.
solid, professional performance here from Ian Moss. 102.5 the average. Trina is pushing him, but Ian Moss is faultless at the
Both leg
moment.
in to throw
It's as
first.
good as it
Game on.
gets. It's the flag-bearing standard for the week. Saw a ton topper from
60.
Martyn Turner this week. That 60 dips the average below the three-figure mark.
41.
Gulliver couldn't pounce on that rare troublous visit.
60.
So, have another go. Another trebleless visit there from Ian Moss. Is this a bit of finishing line-itis kicking in?
100.
And if there's one thing that a 10-time world champion can do, and that's finish off matches and then know how to stick in particular matches.
60.
He's staying straight, despite the trebleless visits. So this means one big score should keep him in it.
100.
Trina has stole the advantage in this one. He's getting a bit nervy for Ian Moss.
85.
It's his first treble of the leg at the 12th time of asking.
$85.
That one just kissed the barrel. A deflection over into the fives. Which will bring music to the ears of Ian Moss because it moves Trina onto a non-finish. Still just after averaging over the 100 for 3 legs. Can't seem to find a treble.
$95.
He's being outscored. This was a leg Ian Moss threw first, and he's 116 points behind. How he'd love to find the second 180, but it's a second bounce out that he finds.
80.
He
Trina
leaves
Gulliver,
the Howson.
Tops had to just move across slightly.
60.
The drag's just beneath. Well,
116.
we saw Richie Howson win a game on this finish on a number of different occasions this week. Ian Moss can still do exactly that. If he can find double 18.
80.
Not to be
Trina
this time, and so
20.
Gulliver returns for double 10 to keep this game alive. Moves across. That's in the double 6, so moves across for double 4.
Game shot on the fourth
And
leg.
finds
Trina
it.
Gulliver.
Finds it with ease. This game isn't over yet. Trina Gulliver
like
may
Trina
have
to
just
throw
found
first.
something here.
Come on.
It is Trina with the darts in the 5th leg.
He just sensed a touch of nerves creeping in there for Ian Moss, and if he was feeling nervous then, he's going
121.
to start feeling nervous now when Trina starts with 2 trebles. He's making a mess.
30.
There is a turning of the tungsten tide here.
140.
There's 3 darts already this leg in the
85.
5. Sort of feel Trina's got too much of a gap here. And she's not relenting. She's relentless.
140.
1-2-1, 140, 140. She's shown why she has won those 10 world titles. Sort of feel a little bit of panic kicking in here for Ian Moss.
55. Trina Gulliver, 100.
Well, he's currently stuck between the devil and the deep blue sea as Trina comes hurtling back into this match. Double 10 for a 12-dart leg and a tongue pass out. This game is turning. This game is changing. And Ian Moss has the darts here to seal the 4-2 victory.
6 leg is in to throw
But
first.
Trina
Game
Gulliver has come rearing back into this match.
You would love a treble 20 with that first start. That will settle him right back into this now.
100.
Also, just make Trina aware that she's going to have to find something similar. She's thrown with so much purpose and zip at the moment that it feels likely.
Well, the chasm in the averages have just come to an even kill too as well. Gulliver 86, Moss 87. There was a sizable gap
60.
between those averages not too long ago. Best part of say 8-9 points between them. Well, you can't split them now.
140.
Ian Moss is in trouble. He is in trouble.
60.
He's in big trouble. Gulliver got a 20-point march on him, plus 3 darts.
I said a few legs ago, you have to dispatch of players of the quality of Trina Gulliver, who's been there, done it and won it, because they played to the whistle, they played to the last dart, and they always sense they're going to get an opportunity.
135.
Great visit there for Moss, but there's opportunity not for Gulliver. Another one of them would be delicious.
120 in your car.
Excellent visit to lead 60. You sense this 146 has to go. Staying upstairs. Went along for treble 18 to leave double 16, and so Gulliver the opportunity to level up.
$40 in your car. 53.
Ian Moss, you feel, is going to get 2 darts here. 2 match darts. He's missed one already. That was for the 116 finish. Oh, and that's a nervy, tense dart there for Ian Moss. He will only get 1. It's at double 16. And he's
35.
pulled it into the 7s.
20.
2 match darts have been and gone here for Ian Moss. Trina Gulliver got a chance to take this all the way.
Shot on the 6th leg. Trina
And
Gulliver.
she will be throwing first in the last leg.
And so we go all the way. Gulliver has pegged this back from 3-0 down.
$45.
But a 45 to start. Troublous visit. Opens the door of opportunity for Ian Moss.
Feel both of them, the hearts are going to be pounding at this stage now. They both know what a win would mean at this point.
100.
He finds it with the last dart.
$100.
Trina finds it with the last dart. This is tense. This is edgy. Who can hold their nerve? That really settles you down when you get that treble with the opening dart.
121.
Wow, that's a big, big visit for Moss.
You can feel the tension.
45.
Is the tension starting to get to Trina? She's played excellent to turn this one around. Ian Moss now a 140 away from really giving himself some cushion. He's Robin Hooded.
80.
A Robin Hood is where the dart goes into the back of the dart that is already in place. He may need to do a few running repairs here. Trina sensing that as a bit of an opportunity.
100.
I have no idea what way this is going to go, but it's slight advantage to Moss.
Stolen the darts off of Gulliver. Could do with a treble now.
40.
And I think that might have gone in the treble, but it's a bounce out. That's 2 darts I haven't counted in the scoring phase of this leg. May open it up again for Gulliver. Single 1 doesn't help.
41. In your
160
car,
plays
160.
170. Ian Moss will get first poke. He would do anything to see this dart just get in that treble 20. You sort of feel a ton is the minimum score here for Ian Moss.
100.
And
In your
surely
car,
after the lie of the first 2,
170.
it had to be a treble. Can Gulliver do it in style? Just the other side of the treble wire.
Going to leave it handy.
94. In your car,
76 plays
60.
60, but Moss, well, I say he should get 2 darts. He should have had 2 darts at the 53, but wasn't able to find the single number. Got 2 tops now. 2 more opportunities. He's had 2 darts to win this match. He will not get another one. It's
44.
in the 5.
In your car, 76.
And so Trina Gulliver, from 3-0 down, can seal victory here. Incredibly, should get a dart, will get a dart. At tops, the target Moss has just missed.
Game
And it
shot on
is
the
a
match,
Trina
Gulliver.
Turner here at the Super Series. From 3-0 down, Gulliver gets the win against Ian Moss. It's a first win for her at the Super Series with an 84 average. Gulliver gets over the line. A superb victory for her. And so we head into our penultimate game of the evening, which sees the favourite to win this group, Robert Thornton, in action. He takes on Adam Mould next.
This is the MODUS Super Series. $180.
And it was glory for Gulliver before the break here at the Super Series tonight. She's come back from 3-0 behind against Ian Moss there to win the match 4-3. An exceptional tungsten turnaround and a top performance from Trina Gulliver, who said earlier that her performances have been getting better as evening went on, and that was her best of the night. Both players averaging around 84. Trina Gulliver gets off the mark, remains at the foot of the league table, but 2 points that keeps her in contention. If she carries on that upward trajectory, who knows what could happen tomorrow. A 12-dart leg in there for Trina Gulliver as well. Really good stuff from her, but Ian Moss will be kicking himself for the mess he made in that last leg. Well, coming next, it's Adam Mould against Robert Thornton. Mould himself has produced a nice big finish earlier this evening, a 1-4-3 checkout in his victory against Martyn Turner. One of 2 wins for Mould so far tonight, also beating Trina Gulliver in his opener. But Robert Thornton has beaten everybody he's played so far this evening. Here he is getting the better of Gulliver with a 4-1 win, and he's looking to make it a clean sweep tonight. So, can Mould make it 3, or will it be 4 for Thornton? Let's find out with our 2 in the commentary box.
Thank you very much, Chris. 2 games to go here on Tungsten Thursday here at the Super Series, or, well, we've ticked over into Friday, so this is kind of the beginning of Decision Day, our favourite day at the Super Series. But let's head back to the present. Adam Mould taking on Robert Thornton in this one. Thornton has been the standout player. I think we expected him to be the standout player at the beginning of the evening. But what have you made of Adam Mould so far tonight?
Actually been a little bit disappointing, hasn't he, considering what we saw of him on the first couple of days. He's coming, it seems to be like a different attitude. He doesn't seem as aggressive as he did
Looks like it's Adam to
over
throw
the last
first.
couple of days, but he's going to have to be aggressive here if he's going to take anything off Robert Thornton, because Robert Thornton is clean sweeping this one at the moment. He's on 6 points, and victory here could pretty much put him through.
100.
10 points is the magic number in Group B.
100.
It is the number that seals you automatic passage into the finals night, which takes place on Saturday
45.
evening. Tickets for every Saturday night to the end of this stage, this series, is available to buy, or get for free, should I say, via dartshop.tv.
43.
Register your interest, get your complimentary tickets, come down for Saturday night at the darts like no other.
140.
Adam Mould will be hoping that he's playing on this stage in front of a crowd on Saturday night. After the showing in the first 3 days, he thought it was a
100.
distinct possibility, but the level has just regressed a little bit. But this is the thing with Group B, it affords you opportunities because it is 3 from 5.
140.
If he can find a spark in this one and have a good run tomorrow, he'll give himself every opportunity.
81. Adam, your car 76.
Well, this is the finish we've just seen Gulliver take out.
56.
Mould won't do likewise.
$95. Adam, your car 20. Game shot on the first leg. Adam
Already
Mould.
better here from Adam Mould, isn't he? You can see it visibly in the way that he is approaching the board. The venom in the throw. The 16 darter there
Second
to
leg, Robert to throw
kick things
first.
off. Robert
Game-
Thornton knows he's in a game here.
55. $93.
Just going to get another look of the darts entering the board from our overhead angle. And as you can see from the entry of the first dart and the second dart, that's opened the bed
60.
up for dart at the treble. But that doesn't happen for Robert Thornton on this particular occasion. Oh, that's plum. That's beautiful. That's perfect.
180.
Well, we said we haven't seen too much to oppose against Robert Thornton as of yet.
100.
Key words there was as of yet, because this is very opposing.
$58.
So Mould is going to get 6 darts on this one, 70, which he's left after 9 against the darts to
58.
open up a 2-0 lead.
170.
Won't get the fish this time.
41. $44. At a new car, 129. $59.
Robert's not really
140.
not firing in this one as of yet, but he set that one up nicely. Leave the pressure on Adam Mould.
Game shot on the second leg.
He doesn't feel it, does he? He's playing like he did on the first 3 days, and that was the guy that I thought was going to come here and take one of these qualifying positions in Group B. There are 3 up for grabs.
Third leg, Adam to throw first.
Adam Mould
Game
is
on.
throwing for 3 legs.
And of course, the players in Adam's position, even if you don't qualify for Saturday night, you want to put in a performance that will give you the opportunity to return here. Well, if you keep hitting maxes, you're going to be in Saturday night. If you enter Saturday night, I'm sure we'll see you back.
60. $100.
Averaging 96 in this one. And Thornton hasn't had a look in. The man who's been so dominant in this group so far
46.
opened up the night with an 89 average and a 4-2 success against Martyn Turner, before then averaging 83 and a 4-1 success against Ian Moss, and then it had an 84 against Trina Gulliver. That was a
140.
quality encounter, that one. But Mould here is just going through the gears beautifully.
44.
81 after 9,
81.
on for potential 11 for a 3-0 lead, and to leave Thornton in his wake. Double 12.
75.
But he goes inside, leaving double 3, and with Thornton all the way back on 3-5-1, problems could arise.
$95. Adam New Class
And the
6.
problems here are for Robert Thornton. I'd be looking at splitting this here. That one's kicked up and sort of covered the bed. You don't have to try and force it through. But I suppose
No
the
score.
plan for Adam Mould is just to do plan A better.
$60. Adam New Class 6.
Have another go, Adam.
Game shot on the
That's
third
better.
leg. Adam Mould.
Perhaps that up with the first start. 16 darter in the end there for Adam Mould. It took him few darts to get that one out. He got out in the end. Doubles haven't been the strongest point for him, but he's on the 33% in this match, which is absolutely fine. Robert Thornton is absolutely nowhere near his game in this one. Is this that fatigue that we've spoke about before with Robert Thornton, where
28.
playing multiple games in a day just isn't something he's able to do at that top level anymore?
And this is where he'll be hoping tomorrow night he can try and get the job done as early as he possibly can, so he doesn't have to dwell down in the darting well and around about this time tomorrow, wondering whether he's going to progress his way through or not.
$140.
This really is much better for Mould. That's his fourth 140 of the match. And he'll be wondering where this was around about 3 hours ago.
32.
The main thing is, it has turned up. And even when it wasn't really happening for him, he's still got 2 wins.
60.
So if he can get this one, 3 wins, 2 of them could be by quite big score lines, judging by where we are in this leg.
96. $41.
But he'd be disappointed he's only left 160 there, and it just opened up the door if Thornton could have found a biggie. He steps back, shakes his head in frustration. Perhaps a summary of this game from his perspective.
$23. Adam, your car, 160.
At this moment in time, all I feel this is going to be is Adam Mould wrapping this up. Robert Thornton is completely lost the line.
82.
He's getting frustrated with the situation.
$135. Adam, your car, 78.
Even good darts cause frustration.
Tops would be the cause of elation for Adam Mould.
38.
That bounced out, but just underneath the wire. And so you sense that this 106 of Thornton has to go. It may still go. One dart at his favoured tops.
Game shot on the 4th flag, Robert Thornton.
And a player of Robert Thornton's class and calibre sometimes only needs one chance. And we saw in our previous game between Trina Gulliver and Ian Moss. Moss raced into a 3-0 lead, but he couldn't complete the job. And Trina Gulliver, the great champion she is, managed to pick up the pieces and play some brilliant stuff to get over the line. Will we see another tungsten seesaw here?
57. $41.
I said about snarling. Robert Thornton is growling at those darts. Frustration is clear to see on the eye. That's frustration that Adam Mould's going to be seeing as well.
140.
Going to be seeing all this happen in front of him. He's going to see the unravelling here of Robert Thornton. And with that, he'll just sense opportunities.
100. $100.
Just eking ever closer towards the finishing line now. But Thornton continues to put up some kind of resistance.
$140.
Huge last start, and you could see from the reaction. 64 after 12. Thornton desperately searching for a triple now.
42.
Not that one, mind. And so Mould has 6 for the match.
$60.
May need to use all of them. 2 more missed darts at the double. Robert Thornton is going to leave something handy.
177. Adam, your car 4.
Darts of a champion there, just to say to Adam, you're going to have to take this out. Madhouse. Madness.
Robert, your car 20.
And Thornton has carved this opportunity out for himself.
Game shot on the
And
fifth leg.
takes full
Robert
advantage
Thornton.
of it. Are we going to see another turnaround akin to what we saw in our previous encounter? Adam Mould has now had darts for the match.
6 leg Robert to throw first. Game on.
He's had 5 of them to seal victory.
60.
They've come and went. Thornton applied pressure by getting the 177. Took out the double 10. But only a 60 to start in this particular leg.
100. 100.
Said about 5 minutes ago, I didn't see anything, but Adam Mould wrapping it up. That stance is starting to change. Robert Thornton
100.
not finding his consistent brilliance, but he's finding brilliance in bits. Those bits are enough to claw this match back. He's throwing first in this leg as well.
140.
Just allows you to have that treble-less visit because you can recover it like he's just done there.
140.
There's no denying that was huge. Just an overpronounced lean there from Robert as he approached the board.
140. Adam, your car 161.
His setup play of the last couple of legs has been exemplary, which forces Mould to take this 161 for the match, which he won't. And so Thornton
97. Robert, your car
to
61.
take us all the way. Double 18, 1 in hand.
43. Adam, your car 64.
He's had opportunities. This 64 was one of them. He got the treble just like that. But he
Game
didn't
shot
hit
of
the
the
double.
match.
On
Adam
this
Mould.
occasion he does. He gets over the line in the end. 1 point looked like it was going to be 4-0, but then Robert Thornton had darts to level that one up. Adam Mould gets over the line in the end and ends his day on 6 points. We've got one more game to come your way. That's Ian Moss taking on Martyn Turner.
Welcome back. Well, that threw a bit of a spanner in the works, didn't it? Robert Thornton was looking like he was going to have an unbeaten evening here at the Super Series, but suddenly fell flat. Started to come back in that game against Adam Mould, but the damage was done. Robert Thornton's poorest performance of the night results in his only defeat. A 4-2 success for Adam Mould, and the impact on the Group B table is this. We see Robert Thornton joined on 6 points by Mould, who puts himself in a good position along with the Scotsman to qualify. All of the other players on 2. 2 of them going to play each other now. Trina Gulliver did get a win in her final match of the night against Ian Moss, who's in action against Martyn Turner in the last match of this session. The pair of them both with 1 win from 3. We can see a couple of Martyn Turner's highlights now, including victory over Trina Gulliver. That's his only win of the night so far, beaten by Robert Thornton and Adam Mould, though it did take out his 96 finish to tie that meeting with Mould. Mould winning it to tie their head-to-head from the week at 2 apiece. So the final match of the evening, the winner of it will be in a provisional qualification spot overnight. Without further ado, let's get the game underway in the company of Matthew and Henry.
I think the big question in this game for me is, how does Ian Moss respond? He lost that last game 4-3 to Trina Gulliver, but that was not just the story of the game. He was 3-0 up, averaging over 100, looking like he was cruising. And Trina just brought it back leg by leg by leg and ended up winning the game 4-3. Ian Moss did have match darts in that one as well. He was not able to convert those. And how does he bounce back? He would have had setbacks like this before, the 59-year-old. With a long darting career. You can see there the 2014 World Championships. At the same year he held a tour card. Taking on Martyn Turner, who was Henry's prediction to be a bit of a banker through this one, really, wasn't it? You expected to see Martyn Turner come through this group after what we saw from him in Group A on Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday.
I was waiting to see how long before you brought up my my predictions to the Sporty Stuff TV gang. Let's quickly move on and enjoy a game of darts. It's our last one of the day. 25 matches we've gone through. 25 games that the legend Paul Hinks has officiated. And it is Ian Moss who has the honour.
$100.
Going back through Henry's highlights. You got one of them right.
26.
I don't think the predictions is your forte.
Slightly worse than that, and I am at commentary.
$85.
Now, I leave that to Edgar, who has his top tips. I think you're going to be back on Saturday night with that with the Sporty Stuff TV gang. I'm going to be
42.
with you on Sporty Stuff TV from 8:25 tomorrow night in the middle of the Greyhound racing coverage.
$140.
I did actually ask whether I've been having a bit of a throw recently, and yeah, it's not a put it this way, I won't be playing in the next phase.
My way you would be, and I'd be playing in the phase alongside you, and we'd get Chris Murphy involved. Have a bit
94.
of a team week.
All I say is, don't pick Taylor for it, because he's a bit of a dark horse. He's our scalper who logs all the scores in the board.
100. Ian require 82.
Ian Moss going to get on the board in this match by getting this 82. Tops.
$62.
Drags below, but he's got the luxury of time. Turner back on 240. Which you on the quadro board can count as a maximum visit.
Getting shot on the first leg.
First leg goes to Ian Moss. In 16, hold and throw. Turner with the darts in leg 2. And it has to be said there was a sizable gap in that first leg. And
Second leg, Martyn to throw first. Game on.
we expected big things from Martyn Turner in this group. The way he played in Group A kind of warranted those
89.
lofty expectations. Just hasn't quite got going for him tonight, has it?
No, he's certainly not found that sort of consistency that he did. We
100.
said, is he now going to start finding his confidence? Something he said he struggles with. He certainly should have found it after that performance in Group A. I wonder if this is just a little bit as
58.
well like being on his own here. In Group A, he would have been with his travelling buddy, Darren Johnson. Maybe that just gave him a little bit of extra comfort and confidence.
They are sharing a hotel room, I have
125.
been told. And here's been a long day of darts, Matthew Edgar. We began at
95.
9:30 in the morning, and now we're at 1:27 in the morning. And we're into our final game.
$85. 83.
You'd like to say that Ian Moss is setting this up for a breaker throw, which could be significant, but Ian Moss just rewrote the rule book of significance in that last game with Trina.
137.
He went 3-0 up and lost it. So I don't think at any point of this one we can really say that Mossy is close to the finishing line until he goes over it.
136 in your car, 54.
But he played like this in those opening 3 legs against Trina. Tops for 14.
Getting shot on the second leg.
15 will do. That's the break for Ian Moss. He leads 2-0. And this time, he'll be hoping he can see out a cushion in a match.
Third leg in to throw first. Game on. $100.
Mind you, we return tomorrow morning, Group C action. As we mentioned, Darren Johnson, the man
45.
at the top of that particular table, looking to qualify for finals night. But it's going to be quite a race to secure the spots, particularly second. So do join us for that Friday morning at the Arrows, courtesy of the MODUS Super Series. And if you're tuning in via the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel, don't forget to drop us a subscribe, because on top of the live coverage, you can tune into highlights, game of the day,
89.
bonus behind-the-scenes content, all courtesy of the MODUS Super Series.
$60. $40.
Martyn Turner just struggling to find it. He's losing the line, he's losing the weight. I said this about Robert Thornton, and then he just burst into action from nowhere.
100.
And nothing can really be unexpected, really, in this one.
$81. In your car, 161. $99. $134.
3-0.
In your car,
The
62.
same scoreline he led in the last game against Trina Gulliver. Probably not going to like me reminding everybody about that over and over again. 16, 3-0.
30. Martyn, your car 112.
Treble leads himself double 16.
$38. In your car 32.
So double 16 for a 3-0 lead. And while we've been here before, haven't we?
Well, this was the point where Ian Moss started to throw edgy darts, started to look nervous last time. Don't see any sign of that in his demeanour at this point.
Fourth leg, Martyn to throw first. Game on.
Matthew Edgar departs the commentary box to head up and join Chris Murphy to analyse all the day's
100.
play.
$140.
Ton 40 start for Moss. Averaging 93 in this particular match.
49. $140.
Back-to-back 140s. Moss is on the cusp.
$94. $60.
Win here for Moss would put him into third place overnight. Leapfrogging Turner in the table to that spot. Thornton and Mould both on 6 points, both winning 3 games apiece, and then Turner, Moss and Gulliver all on 2. Of course, that
in your car 161.
has to change.
$6. $60. In your car 155.
So has 6 starts from here. Moss is going to need the lot.
19.
But a shout of come on. He knows the struggles he's had the past couple of visits.
59. In your car 136.
One 136 won't go, so Turner's going to get a chance at 128 to key himself in the game.
Martyn,
He may have to take it. 128. Treble 20. Would have left the ball, and so Moss returns for tops to put himself onto 4 points overnight for a 2-2 record, and to put himself in the top 3 going into Friday's action. Double 10. And Ian Moss seals a 4-0 victory against Martyn Turner to round off the night's action here at the MODUS Super Series. It's a victory that puts him onto 4 points in the table. This is the tail of the tape. Moss with an average just underneath 86. 4 out of 9 on the doubles, high out to 54. Martyn Turner's had a real struggle here this evening compared to the performances that he's put in earlier on this week. Not a double in that particular matchup. Ian Moss then is the victor in that one by 4-0. That is the 10th and final game of the evening session here at the MODUS Super Series. So just one final order of business to go, and that's to head up to the boys on the balcony.
Thank you, Henry. Yes, Matthew Edgar has joined me to discuss what we've witnessed this evening. I think the best way to do it is to take a look at how the table stands at the end of the opening evening. Robert Thornton was looking like running away, but pegged back by Adam Mould.
Yeah, Adam Mould putting himself really in contention now. It's completely level there, isn't it? Even on legs. So those two are going to be pretty much battling it out for one of those positions. And I think that maybe there's another position available here. Ian Moss has looked a little bit ropey for me at times, actually. Yeah, he certainly, when he went 3-0 up against Trina, it got nervy for him. He was starting to miss by quite some distance, and especially on those doubles on match chances. And then when we looked at that situation there, 3-0, looked like he was going to do it. He went, what, 6 and 19, and just stumbled over the line in the end. So I think that position might not be sealed yet.
Yeah, you mentioned fatigue in terms of Robert Thornton losing that last match earlier on. He could afford to do that. Martyn Turner perhaps felt the same. Maybe he couldn't afford to do that.
Oh, he couldn't, could he? He's got to win that reverse fixture tomorrow, because that will be the first game tomorrow. We flip it around and we go back in reverse order. He has to win that exchange tomorrow against Ian Moss. He has to win it well, because Ian Moss took that 4-0. Legs difference could come into play with this, when I think they're going to be a little bit more beating each other over tomorrow.
Right, let's take a look ahead at Group C. The final day of action getting underway at 9:30 a.m. live on Sporty Stuff TV and the MODUS Super Series YouTube channel. In that group, we saw it get underway this morning, and this is how the table stands. Darren Johnson top of the pile, but it was interesting, wasn't it, on Thursday morning? Alan Norris, a little similar to Robert Thornton. He started well, but his decline was more dramatic.
Oh, he just broke down, didn't he, Alan Norris? He looked like he was going to cruise himself to victory in that group, and then by the end of the day, I don't know if he was going to win another leg. So it's going to be interesting to see how Alan Norris starts the day tomorrow. He does take on Peter Manley first game, which is an ideal draw for him, really, in terms of how he's going to come on and produce. But I have concerns over Alan Norris, but if he's going to perform, it's going to be early.
Give me the two names then to get through Group C on Friday morning.
Oh, I think Michael Huntley's going to be one. And although the table suggests Darren Johnson, I'm interested to see how he gets on in his first couple of games.
Well, interesting, Matthew Edgar. Not saying that it's sealed for Darren Johnson just yet. And those who've been watching this week for Peter Manley, remember he lost all 15 matches in Group A. He is not yet ruled out of making it through to finals night. So do join us, 9:30 a.m, usual places, to see how it all unfolds for another double session of darts.